Endwalker continued. Let us go. Our friend in Eorzean, we've been expecting you. You and yours will lead the mission to the tower, I'm told. The warding scales will be delivered soon. Till then, please stand by the boat until we have it readied. When your fellows arrive, I'll direct them to join you. We pray for your safety and success. Oh, love your pet electrician reactions, so I found your channel. Well, thank you, I appreciate it. The next one's probably going to be 60 minutes to 90 minutes, so be prepared for that. There was some discourse recently, and I'm just like, okay, people just want more Kip. Okay, I cut down my reaction times for you people. Well, one of these days, I'm going to have the 8-hour reaction, that fabled 8-hour reaction that people are just going to be like, why is this man like this? It's good to see you. I'm glad you're enjoying the reactions. If that's the future of the Aetheryte travel, I think I'll stick to boats. Oof. That's rough. Oh, Aetheryte sickness. No. Had hands, right? No warning, however empathetic could have prepared me for that. On account of which we were a little late, but fighting fit mostly. Your stomach just went up and gut punched you. That's what happened. God. You can react to that. Oh, I have a couple videos I already have in mind. My friend, permit me to thank you for accepting this mission. You must be, we shall call you Harshan, I suppose. Indeed, it would not do to confuse our soldiers. Fact. Very well then. For our part, we are humbled that you see fit to entrust us with your warding skills. Please convey as much to His Excellency. I keep coming here at night. It's actually kind of hilarious. One for each of you. Please accept them with my blessings. Our thanks. With these, we can go anywhere with these. Go anywhere those with the blessing of light can go. Not only for this operation either, but all the ones to come. We can finally break your monopoly on primal. Wouldn't mind carrying the team again. Spoken like our champion. Rest assured, we'll ever have need of you, though we will do what we can to lighten your burden. Long videos keep me occupied. Tax one earlier. This one about is going to be a fun one. Oh, 100%. No, I'm looking forward to it. And I get longer videos. Maybe I need to actually specialize in those at this point. Everyone is amenable to it. Let's review the strategy for good measure. Previously agreed we'll divide into 2 groups. Kip and her band will break through the tower's defenses and locate its core. Meanwhile, the rest of us will tend to the prisoners, who will doubtless want for healing due to the duress of repeated summonings. Distress, I guess, technically. Yeah. Primals which tower bringeth forth shall be deities in the Venerian myth. And we have no prior experience with such foes. Pray exercise the utmost caution when confronting them. This does feel like the first dungeon. Commence the operation at your word, my friend. People of Thavnir, nay, the entire world, we must prevail. There it is. Tower of Zot. This early? Yeah. No, I wanted to burn through a lot of this, honestly. So, I mean, I am live this early. It is pretty early. Let me lose it. Rev, you're at work. Fuck off. It's... What day is it? Is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday, isn't it? I'm fine. I got it. I can just queue for Tower of Zot. Oh, that's 10-minute queue time. Rough. I mean, especially as DPS. But I mean, DPS queue times are a thing. That makes sense. Rescue the White Mage. It's Thursday. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what day it is anymore. I woke up and thought it was maybe Wednesday or Tuesday. And make it quicker. I mean, that's up to you guys. I'm fine. I can run this. Fine, I'll withdraw. I can already hear Rev is like, Final Fantasy 14? 14? Or, not 14, 4? Final Fantasy 4? Because apparently Tower of Zot's from 4.
4?
Yeah, I thought someone said Tower of Zot was 4, or was it 5? I don't know. I don't know these things.
It is 4.
Yeah, get bent. You're like, wait a minute. Yeah, because Endwalker is very 4-based, I hear.
Yes, and I guess Dawn Trail's going to be very 9-based.
So that's why we got the minion. So it means I need to go out and I need to pick up my copy of PS1 9. If it's still there when I get there.
For like $6.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Zinger model. Nice, nice. Paying bills is always an experience. I still need to actually pay bills this month. I need to pay taxes this month. I need to actually send in my check.
Yeah, I need to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, do you want to wait?
Chocolate had hands.
Or wait. The what had hands? What?
That piece of chocolate had hands.
Did they?
Yep.
So it sucker punched you, didn't it?
It's special chocolate.
Special chocolate. Is it broccoli infused chocolate?
It is broccoli infused chocolate, and I am dyslexic, so I didn't see the extra 0.
We were about to have a good day.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be great. Oh, do you mind going up NPCs? I actually haven't tested the NPC system. I should probably at some point. Probably test it.
Interesting.
I feel like it'd be acceptable. Since it's always make they can laugh next videos. Or support reactions to his content, and he'll even comment on the videos he sees you. Always look out for your comments in case he's in. Oh no, I've actually seen Fat Electrician. I totally forget his name is Nick because I just never hear it. Dude's super legit. He's reached out a couple of times in the comment section, and I've been like, hey, love your stuff, keep doing that. I just want to make sure that I'm being respectful of his content, and the next one's probably going to be like 90 minutes. Let's be real. I figured I should go for quality with these reactions going forward. It is a little bit of a hit, like I'm watching my metrics drop, but at the same time, I'm like, I mean, I'll just go longer. That's fine. Tank with a party of NPCs in the trust system.
No,
that sounds like a challenge. This sounds awful.
Are we waiting for Jace?
I have no idea. I don't know. Either NPC will struggle to keep you up if you're not warrior. Because warrior's secretly best tank, and paladin mains out there can bang on those shields ready to fight.
Jace is in. Okay, let me play Jace.
No. So, I mean, did you think, I guess, when you left last night, how far did you think I was going to get? Did you think I was going to get this far, or you think I was going to go a little further?
I don't even know how far you are. I dropped the MSQ tracker. Hold on.
If you need the name specifically, it's
I
in the...
can see the name. I feel like I can just see what gives us... Oh, yeah. You made it reasonably far.
Well, I mean, I'm still in 80s. No, I actually just hit 81. Okay. That's the thing.
These are 81s.
It'll jump probably after 85. Like, it'll go from 85 to 86 really quick. I need another body. I'm not going to say no. But depends how close you are.
Yes.
Sail with Nidhana to the tower. Yeah, no, I finished that whole sequence. Saw Fandaniel. Fandaniel did Fandaniel things. Crystal Tower came up again for obvious reasons. And now I'm just more and more like, this should be required content. Like,
on the bright side, I get an easier queue time because I don't have to scroll through a bunch of dungeons to find the stuff because Endwalker has its own tab.
Yeah, actually it does, doesn't it? Because it's technically modern content now. Previous identity. Amon did nothing wrong. All I'm saying. Yes. Let me promote me to leader. I'm gonna go invite person in chat. Then I'll queue us up for Zot.
Person in chat is tanking.
Spicy. Could be good.
Or I can attempt to tank.
I mean, you do need to... You could try out warrior. You do.
Trap warrior. It is that level.
It is at level.
I have no excuse not to.
Sounds like Rev's tanking today.
Alright.
Alternatively, you can heal.
I'm not healing.
Wow, Rev, you can't just play DPS. Kip, you can't just play tank. You don't know how to play the game as not tank anymore. Okay,
Kip, the difference in my issue.
Okay, what's our party comp? What are we right now?
Reaper, Samurai, Sage, and now I'm a warrior.
I was gonna go Paladin. It's fine.
Motherfucker.
Do you want me to go Paladin or not?
Oh, you're host now. I can't queue us.
Yeah,
No,
I'm here. Are you warrior or do you want DPS?
I'm a warrior.
Okay.
I got this. I just gotta remember when I start getting low, pop blood winning.
You literally off cooldown, just keep popping bloodwetting. Using that a couple times should give your rampart time to recharge. If you're really in an oh crap situation, you got your thrill of battle equilibrium that you can just regen like what 60% of your health.
Bad at tanking, Crawford. I just don't do it very often.
I love it personally, but I need game knowledge to actually do it properly.
This is also a very strange dungeon to tank.
I believe it. Well, after Stormblood, it's been very interesting to tank. There's not wall to walls as much, I've noticed.
So, I do have an excuse if I'm bad. I did just take 300 milligrams like a dumbass. Oh.
Okay, I can tank. Chip, you can't tank. You're not the tank. Bold of you to assume I have a choice in a lot of this.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is more akin to the wall to walls pre Shadowbringers.
Yeah, because this is a hard stop.
You might want to pop probably Rampart.
This is also the point of the story where you can no longer unsync content, so.
I thought you can technically unsync it, right?
Nope, it doesn't let you queue if you're unsynced.
Really? Okay, so on expansion, you can't unsync. That's interesting, actually. I didn't know this. Not the Zot Armored Fiend. I'm noticing the cool, like, Warrior of Light style horns on him. Unless those are just Fiend horns, when I'm misreading that.
Horns?
The horns on the big dude?
Yeah, they're just Fiend horns.
Hey! DPS wins. Paladin's accept unmovable rock status. I mean, to be fair, it was pretty busted at Endwalker's launch, was it not? Like, they had to nerf Holy Sheltron, I thought.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I heard Paladin was absolutely cracked. Like, this is Paladin post-nerf. I'm very scared what they're going to do with Reaper, honestly. I don't want anywhere near there.
Nope.
I mean, I think it's going to be interesting in Dawn Trail to do these unsynced. I think it'd be interesting. I don't know if it's going to necessarily make them easier, but at least gives you a little bit of padding. That's pretty nutty, not going to lie. Oh, I've heard Paladin was absolutely cracked on Endwalker, at least not maybe launch, but like pretty early on. I should probably focus on the smaller dudes now that I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to think about DPS prioritization. Probably should focus on the smaller dudes.
I will never complain if somebody attacks the big dude. Because the big dude's the one that hit hardest.
I guess that's fair. I mean, I was looking at that. I'm like, I mean, I do, what, 300 potency on my base one hit. Figure I might as well focus the big dude, get him down pretty quickly. Oh, hey, it's Final Fantasy IV boss.
Aruba.
Yeah, I play this game. I still say my two favorite classes in the entire franchise are Paladin and Red Mage. Red Mage is great in this game, actually. It is a very good all-arounder because it gets a lot of cool toys. God, he okay, I'm noticing, even from Holminster's Switch, this is a little harder. I'm noticing that difficulty creep.
Yeah.
But at least we have the tools to deal with that.
Oh, shit. Oh, we're not going over.
I wasn't sure if I was supposed to hit that or not.
No, that was marking where the AoE was coming down.
No.
Transmute Thunder. So now it's in Thunder aspect. Gonna be 3 AoEs going off. Just watch where the spikes come up. Snipe is fun.
That Reaper dash is just so tack.
Yes, I love the Reaper Dash. At least on arenas that have walls that you can't jump off of.
Right. No, I'm saying straight up get dragooned. Back here.
Transmute Bio.
Well, it's not a multi-hit tick, so as soon as a hit turns green, you can just step over it again.
Yeah.
You hate Tower of Zot? What is it about it? Is it with the boss structure, the poles, movesets?
You'll see.
That's the first one down. That was pretty engaging as a boss.
I have a very specific issue with Zot. Yeah. Last boss fight has the same issue I have.
I mean, pull however you want to pull. Don't really care.
Fucking Chase is fucking testing me, I guess.
I mean, you want to take it one group at a time, 2 groups at a time. I don't care. You don't really play warrior.
Well, the walls are also reasonably short because, like you see, we hit a wall.
Yeah. I noticed this room was pretty quick. I need to be popping my arcane circle more, actually. I didn't pop it at all that past fight. That's a little bad.
My brain forgot how one of my abilities worked, so I was just kind of just sitting there mashing a button. I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, I feel that. I've done that. Not Zot. Not Zot Umbral.
Not the Umbrals.
Zot Hypertuned. Hey, the Hypertune came back. Nice.
Yeah.
Big one's dead. Not Zot Deathclaw Fallout players sweat nervously.
Yeah, this is the second hardest dungeon in Endwalker due to the sheer amount of damage these enemy groups can do.
I believe it. Well, that means if I can get through this no issue, hypothetically,
Or Hypertune.
I'll be set. God, the Hypertune is like big boy. I'm gonna try to focus him down a little bit.
I'm dead. Goodbye, friends.
Well, that's not bueno.
Oh shit, fucking Jace with that immediate res.
Take 2 hits from the big guy, it's fine.
That's fine. I'm back.
Yeah, if you have Bloodwooding, pop it immediately and just use your AoEs. Maybe we'll get an explanation to the Zot Umbrals after this. Assuming the story deems it relevant information to know.
Yeah.
Good save.
Alright, now what I'm learning is to learn how to fucking read.
That's the one. Place actually hurts. Kind of reminds me of Caster Mabanya. How hard that dude hurts.
Yep. And now Sandbaruba.
My god. There's a gap, okay.
Oh, small gap.
I was on the edge of that. I should not have avoided that.
So if you get hit by that, you get inflicted with Berserk.
Oops.
So.
At least it's a big like fuck off tell. Will be frozen when count reaches 0. Literally the worst place to be stopped. Nice.
Yep. Confusion. Unable to perceive surroundings.
No, I'm gonna get hit by that. Rough. Because I noticed they were all doing emotes.
Yeah.
Kind of getting Adalwa vibes, actually, from this boss.
What vibes?
Adalwa, one of the boss Majora's Mask. Oh, stops an inn. Rough.
Nope, that was that one.
Tried to Arcane Crest that. I failed. No!
for the one that's standing still for the boss. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, because they're all doing emotes. Like the one was like one over there is doing like kind of dance. I still got stopped.
The main thing's just not being stacked on top of each other with the stops.
Yeah. Hey, Crest came in clutch. Let's go. With anything not a white mage, rough. I could see DK probably having some issues here. Was she hard-coded to do that?
No, I just killed her.
Weird. I feel like she HP thresholded and got off that final mechanic.
No. She only had like 0.8 HP left, so I just smacked her twice.
Rough. Yeah, I can see that being kind of rough in roulettes.
I don't think I'm gonna wall to wall this one because that last one.
Let's not. I mean, this guy's gonna hurt. I can already tell you, or at least I can already.
A lot. Well, it's 3 predators in a rotor, so.
Yeah, he's gonna be kind of a pain. Well, and that's. I mean, that's literally part of tanking. Like, what can you take? What can you not take? Party ain't having a good time. I don't push it.
Yes.
Big one's dead.
Ish.
Extremely hard to wall no matter how hard my crew tries. I mean, to be fair, they're big. They hit very hard. Cool.
Healer want to murder the party hit, please. No. Yeah, no, like 2 gunships is a little much into that collective.
You could probably, I don't know, the 2 Colossus at the end of this as well. That's the part that's kind of throwing me off a little bit. I could maybe tank that if I had all my mental faculties about me.
Yes.
Maybe. A full wall-to-wall, though, is a little rough. Remember to arm's length when you can, because it could slow their rate of fire, rate of attack.
Yeah. I forgot that was a...
Exactly! Right? It's like, you're like, oh wait, that is a thing. Yeah, because arm's length is actually broken.
Oh, because most of the time we only use it to not get pushed around.
Exactly, and then you read it and you're just like, damn. Oh, hold up, it does what now? It's my stop. Don't touch me there. It's the stop button.
Yeah.
When it comes to defensive, I mean, yeah, no, like, this would be an interesting one for me to tank at some point. When I get it probably in roulettes or whatever, because like I'm going to be firing all my mitigations.
I have been cycling through all of them.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Like this is going to push some players.
That's not a problem.
Unlock another 10% of my Unga Bunga brain. Exactly. Another 10% of your power.
Yeah, no, like this fucking pull is awful.
You could probably do Rotor and the Colossus at once. You could probably do that.
Well, a Rotor, 2 Colossus, and then a Spider up ahead.
Oh, fuck, there's a spider. I mean, these are all just big enemies.
Arms length is what?
Exactly. Those that discover arm's length are closer to apotheosis.
Yeah. Alright, time for Spider and 2 Colossi.
Wouldn't it be Colossuses because it's Greek?
Colossi.
Well, it's like you have people say it's octopus or octopus or what, octopi, and it's not. It's Greek, so it's octopuses.
I think it's interchangeable.
It depends on the root word. I've understood it because it's Greek. It is octopuses.
I don't know. Okay. I was more talking about Colossi because both Rome and Greece have Colossus.
That might be Colossi then. It depends on the root of the word.
Well, yeah, that's the issue because they weren't intertwined at the time, so they both had Colossi and Colossuses.
So that is one of those you could actually. I'm using the Roman pronunciation. I'm using the Greek root of this. You could do that. Soviet Tower enemies on the Bungayu.
Weird one.
Is this just an analogy for collectivization? Tower of Zot is actually just take you, make us work for us factory. Oh, that's rough.
Yeah. What Colossi? I was second guessing myself. I'm gonna fucking do fucking bullshit.
I love that it looks like Magus Sisters is this one is wearing a onesie.
Yeah.
Great. Octopuses or octopi, octopods. I guess. Where am I? How'd y'all go? There we go.
Alright, so you're gonna see why everyone hates this fight.
Okay. Fair enough. Soundtrack was hard though.
Yes.
Yeah, I figured it was gonna be all of them.
Yep. It's just a lot to keep a track of.
There's got to be a meta version of who you actually attack.
In order.
Holy crap.
Everyone's giving you the biggest headache at the time, I suppose. Fucking mitigate that, I suppose.
Trying to move off you.
That's fine.
Like the small one's going to be the issue here, honestly.
That's the one I'm focusing.
Yeah.
Well, the issue is they do fights. They do moves that weren't in their own fights, so you haven't seen them yet, and they do the moves from the fights that you have seen.
Right. Well, because it's a collaborative effort now. Not Delta attack!
This seems like a good idea for this.
Final Fantasy fanfare pops in the middle. I love it.
Yeah, because you just got an item. Alright, that's one down.
Well, I'm aware it's because I got an item. So that means you should be dealing with 30% less attacks now. In theory.
In theory.
Unless they have a threshold mechanic where they just do the same amount of actions across 2. This in roulettes has got to be rough, honestly.
This is just rough. A lot of notifications on my phone. I should probably check those after this. Yeah, the issue is you have to focus them all down and kill them about the same time.
Oh, because they res each other.
Back up.
Yeah. So this can technically be an infinite fight.
I think they get less health every time they res, but
Just focus on the small one.
Yeah, that's enough to right now. The big issue is your vuln stacks will go up very quickly.
Oh, 100%. Because most of these just give you a like free vuln stack.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it, we killed her.
That's fine. We can focus.
Well, if we kill both of them, we can then. I'm expecting it to res both personally. Yep, there it is.
Yeah,
nope, they.
So if we waited a second, we wouldn't have had to deal with it. Yeah.
It's not less health each time, by the way.
No, it's not. I think the big one's the one that reses them.
It might be. Well, I mean, hey, let's try it out.
Yep.
This is honestly what I thought Heaven's Ward was going to be. Thought Heaven's Ward was going to have mechanics like this. I'm glad that it didn't. Glad it worked me up to this. But I was expecting this the whole time.
Alright, that was a really bad time to get a phone call.
Nice. That's a problem.
That's less than ideal. Alright, so it's just tank down center, or yeah, just focus down center river, then focus the other two down.
Yeah, at this point, there's nothing really to do than just avoid the attacks.
Yep.
Mitigate that fucking hard. My crest is continuously down. I can't actually do anything.
I've all stacks down. It's gone, or gone now as well, so I should be able to survive a little bit better.
Yeah. Once never saw them again. I mean, to be fair, once everyone moved on from this fight in Endwalker, I don't think people have been getting it. Like, I mean, it's obviously in leveling, but I mean, there's so much in leveling to begin with already.
That's... Alright. Hyper focus time, I guess.
I'm on my way back. Figured I'd just res just in case.
Yeah.
I honestly like the fight. I think it's mechanically taxing, actually. Just knowing that, hey, this is the one that res is definitely good information going in.
Yes. I have also only done this dungeon once.
Damn. So it's pretty fucking blind.
Leveling.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I did it as a red mage.
Nice. I don't know, res mage would be pretty neat here. I think it'd be pretty clutch.
Just like in FF4, she'll keep resurrecting your systems. I honestly don't know this fight before. I would have to play back through 4 again.
Didn't you just play through 4, motherfucker?
No, I just finished 3.
Oh.
No.
Gotta do the Manderville.
I had a hold off after 2 because 2
Oh, I hear 2 is very divisive.
It's the Crystal Tower is my biggest issue with 2.
3 was Crystal Tower, I thought.
Or was it 3?
Yeah, because Crystal Tower's raid series is based off 3.
Yeah.
Not that I played it, but...
Yeah, 2 was just boring. And then 3, I just finished the Crystal Tower. Yeah. And now I get to play my favorite Final Fantasy, and then After Years, because I never got to play After Years back in the day. So I finally picked that up.
I mean, you could make it a blind stream reaction to it.
The after years, that's one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get to it. All right. Focus down, fatty McFat.
Could probably dash there just fine. Oh, now she just moves. Okay. What a dick. I guess they also see that you're trying to focus down what's her face then.
She was moved the first time, just not very much.
Oh. Yeah, and then she goes back to her position.
Yep.
Which is going to give them a damage or mitigation up. I ate that shit. I mean, the fight almost feels like it's modular. If you're having an issue with the reflect or having an issue with her moving, like you can kind of take it at your own pace, or you can do something a little different in the fight. But the, obviously Cinderella will still res the others. Or you can, like we're doing, try to chunk down the main Cinderella, chunk down just all that HP, brute force through all the reflects. That's where we burst. Get out of here.
Alright, that's not good enough. Just gotta deal with the AoE fodder now.
Still gets off the AoE.
Well, they're going to get off the AoE either way because the system's still alive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat all of it.
Well, now the res is off the field, so now we can focus really whatever.
Yeah.
Whether most people are brain dead or not. I mean, I could see that. I could see this being a huge filter for some players. Honestly, this one it kind of reminds me of Diablo 2 enemies. The ones in the jungle.
I can see it.
Little, like you see it, right?
Yeah, I can see it. It's close.
Easy.
Cool.
No, it was a good dungeon. I liked it. it's the final fight is very modular. I wonder how other people attempt to take this down, because I mean it makes sense to take Cinderuva out first.
That must have been for 14 today. It's accurate.
Must have been that must have been awful. Just throw you in as warrior.
No, my fortune of the day says all your rolls will be low. That was the most accurate fortune I've gotten for a day.
Rough. There's your Tower of Zot fucking orchestration.
I know, I rolled a 2 on it.
Oh, it's almost like I passed. Interesting.
Yeah. Fucking rolls. I love them. Fucking Final Fantasy fortunes.
It's hey, we finished this activity. Rolls a 2. Alright, I'm out, guys. Let's see next run.
Well, so the entire fortune was all your rolls are going to be low. Probably shouldn't do EXs today.
Right?
Nope, probably not. Probably not Hades EX.
We fortified the captives with what magics we could. Have the defenses been disabled? All appears quiet for the moment.
Cinderuva down first. Anything else? Just prolong the fight. Exactly, yeah. You could, but why?
Enough, but this place feels wrong. The ether is heavy and thick, like wading through a quagmire.
Oh, X-Spike, it's fine. We finished the duty.
Stand in the tower's beating heart. What sayest thou, Stola?
I see it. Ether siphoned from the land runs up through the spire, flowing to a single point. This is the core we seek. Yet something is off. As large as this structure is, it siphons far more ether than is required to sustain it.
It's draining the land itself.
'Tis as if the core is feeding on the energy, consuming it.
Interesting.
I need to take a closer look. Curious. There is something there embedded inside the core.
Is it going to be a lunar primal? Because these weren't lunar primals. This is
A man's limb.
What? Wait.
This is what we came to destroy?
Yes, if you would be so kind.
Is he going to Dragoon? He's going to Dragoon it, right? Dragoon mains went Dawn Trail. I'm assuming that might be Zodiark's core.
And that should be the end of it.
Hypothetically. Or did you forget you were inside the building?
What now?
My theory that the tower might come crashing down following the core's destruction doth appear to be correct.
Bully for you! And how are we supposed to survive the fall?
Justinian's a Dragoon, he can survive it.
What of the prisoners below?
The floor beneath our very feet dissolves. Brace yourselves!
I pray I'm not too late.
You just warp us outside. You just translocate us. What a Chad.
What happened? Where are we?
By my reckoning, we're still on the island where the tower stood. But 'tis as if it never existed. Hardly a scratch. But how?
He's just very sleepy.
G'raha wove a levitation spell at the last moment. Large enough to catch everyone, it would seem.
That explains the lack of obvious injuries.
The expenditure of so much ether has taken its toll. He will need plenty of rest, but should otherwise be none the worse for wear.
Stupid near boots.
Then the immediate problem is what to do with our new friends here. They'll be much changed for their time in the tower. Even if their bodies are intact, I doubt we could say the same for their minds.
Angelo and I will take care of that.
I have every faith in you, Alize, but there are just too many for you to treat alone.
Fact. No, that'd be feature creep extreme again.
We'll send at once to Eorzea for more porksies, and call on the local mages to lend a hand.
This is logical. This is logical for story reasons.
Scions. We were watching the tower when it simply disappeared. What happened here?
I feel there's just a better leg choice, better boots for what I'm going for.
And thy people delivered. They are, however, in need of treatment, and we of a secure locale and helping hands to assist us in its provision.
You shall have all this and more. Come, let us convey these unfortunate souls to the city.
Reaper boots might be what I'm going for, but that's 89. This is very curious because they should, yes, all still be tempered. So think about how high that heal is. Damn, Yokotaro, you absolute Chad.
It's only like a 4-inch heal.
The way it looks in 14 is fucking massive. Like, that arch is rough. Liberated prisoners are being transported to Razadhan for treatment. Alice and your Stola will oversee the administration of tempering treatment and support them for those who know healing spell or two. Oh, Jace needs to go into, is it Copy Factory 3? I think Jace was hunting for that last night. There you go, Rev. There's your 14 for the day. So once you've had a moment to catch your breath. Just doing that dungeon, I actually got like almost a quarter of a way through the next level, through 88. What the heck? This earring is busted.
It gave me a quarter of a level for 85 as well.
It's nutty.
Or it looked like.
Yeah, it's rough. It's great. It's amazing. I don't know for us to have you never want to be idle. Sean Beta's come here to make a do to at our earliest convenience. This will be there once we have finished tending to the prisoners. One second thought, you and Astinian should go on ahead. I need to make a quick detour by the great work. Left G'raha and the alchemist carry. See, best fetch him before he's crammed to a specimen jar. Just you and me, then the guardsmen at the gate should weave us. No, 14 community. Do not put G'raha in the jar. They're gonna put G'raha in the jar.
He likes the jar.
He would, wouldn't he? I don't know, like the near boots are the closest thing I was wanting. So what? I guess where does the Reaper set from? It's 89. Is it a vendor? Because we don't have class quests.
It's your class armor once you finish Endwalker.
Like you just finish Endwalker and they just give you a set for each class.
Yep.
Hot. Oh yeah, right. Because Black Mage has the like. Yeah, we're right. Because Black Mage has the really simple like Black Mage outfit, the black one, not the blue one from like 50. Well, no, but yes, but also no. Everything under 90. Oh, 100%. No, that earring is great. Because it also scales up through 90. But then you get to 90, and obviously you have things like Diodokas, which are better. Almost finished Endwalker, and then 10 quests before you get the gear. Fair enough. No, I'm trying to think about thigh boots along the same profile as the TB thigh boots, but have like buckles on them. Think like Bloodborne aesthetic. Feel that would go pretty hard. Artifact armor from doing the Endwalker. Okay, so that is roll quests. I'll get there eventually. I'm at 81. Actually, I haven't seen the Paladin armor for Endwalker. Is it the one in the trailer?
I can jump to that town real quick and tell you.
Station to the fountain. Great. I'd be glad to assist you. I mean, like, there's just not many outfits with capes. I'm so sad I missed the PvP one with Cloak the season before I started. There's not before the place is a veritable maze. No risk getting lost. We had best ask for directions essentially at the fountain. Lead the way and don't expect me to act as your tour guide like certain others. Justinian is now accompanying me. Oh no!
You're officially in my favorite town in the game.
Rezidon.
The love Rod's town.
Town goes hard.
Well, if you see the like 2 posts coming off where the Aetherite crystal is, that's all your tombstone vendors, your fucking script vendors, your collectible stuff. Just perfect. All your shops right there next to the crystal.
Mm-hmm. Recommend route takes you by the Bazaar City North to the state of alert. However, most businesses are still closed and the Aetherite disabled. So this is going to be an endgame hub, I'm assuming. Which will provide you with an alternate path. First, please ascend these steps next to the fountain, then continue left. There will be more steps upon them. Ascending, you'll be worse at the Apocalypse path. See through the large door on the right, and you'll arrive at the Revibara fibers. Within you, there will be another sentry who will give you further guidance. In other words, we head up sounds straightforward enough. Face Justinian. Hi, Tamsin. How's it going? We're just gonna do this in advance. You're gonna unlock all this. I don't think I can wait. Oh, that's above us. That's why. Has been temporarily disabled. Oof, rough. Yeah, so they're starting to story lock them, and I'm kind of okay with that. Like, I'm okay with them starting to story lock Aetherites. Or do you want Greaves? Probably boots. Because, like, I like the boots. Just near is... It doesn't have enough going on in the front, if that makes sense. I'd have to go look up for what they are. Like, I like the heels. The heels are great. The front of it, I feel like it's missing something.
If you want to check your phone, I just sent you the Paladin relic armor.
Yeah, give me a second. What you're looking for? I just need to know where they're at and what I can do, because I'll just buy them off the market board if I have to. Justinian, tell me the things. This to know about this portal leads to nearby isle, the treasure vault of the Eorzean Alliance's wealthiest families. They took the god of luck for the guardian. Count that they occasionally open up section of the vaults for aspiring treasure hunters to try their own luck, or so they say. There are also coffers hidden. Oh, this is gonna be treasure hunts, right? There are also coffers hidden across the land that act as portals. Find way you can access the vault. Oh, okay, so this is Endwalker Post. I don't know if I like that relic armor. Ugh, rough.
These are these special treasure dungeons that are in the game.
Right. Something about that was what Fubuki was doing. Exhaust your funds while on the road. Just try some experience that I can personally attest. Justinian is not good with money. Maiming near, while heels aren't that tall, it looks much better than 2B's thigh boots. I might...
Yeah, the actual raid gear looks better than the coffer.
Well, that just involves me doing near at some point. That itself is not bad. You blind? Yes, I am. I mean, I appreciate that the coffers give it to you at the very least.
Well, the coffer gives you 2B's outfit.
Yeah.
So
I'll probably like the Yorha a lot better. Puppets monk are the one I need. Exactly. at New Megaduda, are you? In that case, please follow the hallway to my right and through this door at the top of the stairs. Where's the entrance to the airship landing? Who's in the center should be going to... Okay, so this would work if we didn't already come here, in my opinion. If this was the first time we came here, or if we were, like, teleported up to the leaders... Right, but we were led here previously. This is why I don't think this works as a tutorial. If we ascend the steps either side of me, you'll find workshops of the Revibara fibers that you're free to observe the artisans. At least you're right. So how I think I would fix this: have this portion be before we get to the reveal of the worm, and then Estinian can talk about his things. But you cannot access any of the Aetherites. All these are temporary down for maintenance, like the main one, right? I think that's how you fix this area on a first playthrough. This, to me at least, it's breaking the run a little bit but we've already been here. Not a negative jab, just a criticism.
It's a story point of why they're down, so don't worry about that right now.
Well, and that, yeah, it's why Yulmore, you couldn't attune to the Aetherite then. I'm not opposed to that. In fact, I like that. It prevents what, I did in Stormblood, flying all the way to the south of the peaks, right? And just tuning the Aetherite there. Like, I'm for that. I'm not saying I'm not for that. What I'm saying is that I think this sequence of going around Razadhan would have been a lot better if it happened leading up to our first discovery with the worm being behind the curtain, right? This would have worked better there than here. I'm not stuff saying Emmerich would be partial to the gold thread and the blue. Of course, Emmerich loves his blue. You got blue. Bitches love blue. God, no. It's not into what I wear. A spare set of clothing usually all I carry. Is enough. I always obtain something locally. Base Estinian. Here previously and likely directed to the Satrap. Not much given time to remember the layout. But that's like we were here previously. That's why I don't think it works. It's not a negative jab by any means. It's a story world building criticism. Think of the first Endwalker dungeon. I honestly love it. Track went pretty hard. I liked the mechanics. I thought that was going to be Late Heaven's Ward. The mechanics from that dungeon. I'm very glad that they waited to Shadowbringers and Endwalker start implementing stuff like this to get players up to speed. I'm afraid all flights have been suspended until further notice. So they're just still in effect, perhaps for the best. Aside, we are not here for an airship. We have business at the Megaduda. In that case, permit me to direct you. From here is quite simple, really. Ascend the steps and then continue straight ahead across the bridge. You cannot miss it. Probably actually attuned to that down there. The city layout does look a lot cleaner, though. Especially because this is using PS4 tech at this point.
Yes, this is using good tech at this. Okay, that's not that period.
The final fight in Zot is crazy. Oh, 100%. That's why I kind of love it. I was expecting to do that type of content from the outset, and that was actually my aversion to 14. I'm expected to do that right off the bat. At least 14 has the decency to say, nah, bro. Let's easy into these mechanics a little bit.
Yeah.
Remember passing by here with the Varshan, the situation being as it was, he regretted not being able to show us the sights. Which is also justification for, hey, now you get to come here. Oh, I can't show you the sights immediately. Like, I understand the story reasons behind it. Also, to return to normal, when it does, you ought to pay another visit. So he's confused, and the food is quite good. I'm partial to Hamsa myself. It's surprisingly tender and flavorful. Rev does love his Hamsa.
Yeah. It's fucking meat buns.
But Rev, do you like your lassie?
Like lassie?
Yeah, LASSI. It's the drink.
I'd have to remember what it is.
People in chat were saying they've actually had it, and it's great.
Yeah, I'd have to remember what the fuck it is.
I'll rush to Mindaruva, the small one. I instantly thought it's gonna be one of those bosses. Exactly. You know what? It's all good. That's the thing. You can tell somebody like focus Mindaruva first. Okay, you've told us it, but do we understand the why necessarily? I mean, obviously Rev's gonna understand the why, but like a Sprout, right? Think about it this way, right? You tell a Sprout, do not focus the other two. Is that going to necessarily have them learn the best way? Or do you need to mess up a few times? Or do you need to go, oh, actually, this makes the fight a lot harder, and then you learn it? Mango Lassi is a popular one, I believe. It's a yogurt-based drink of Indian origin. I need to try it. I've never had it.
Oh, then yes, I have had it.
Sounds so good.
Yeah. We got a really good Indian restaurant down the road from now.
I don't think I've had Indian cuisine.
Oh, it's... You've had curry?
Yeah? I've had, homemade curry, yeah. Welcome to Megaduda. The small... I got too excited. I saw the small and I moved my chat box and now it's off center. The small Reaper. Look at him. Absolute Chad. Also, I see that TB.
300,000 gil today. I'm satisfied.
Nice. So, signs of dawn come with the invitation of His Excellency. Of course, we've been expecting you. I'll show you into the audience chamber if you please follow me. It's cool. It gets you immersed into the city. Placement-wise, I question it, but it is a good introduction to the city for later.
Oh yeah, was there any other relic armor you wanted me to look at for you?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, I already have most of the glams I want. Like, my samurai is pretty set in stone.
Yeah.
Might have to look at the ninja down the line, but that's about it.
I'm standing next to them there.
Are we the last to arrive? I hope we've not kept you waiting.
Thancred, what was that read? That was amazing. It started low and then went high.
Not at all. Your comrade is feeling better, I trust.
His wings would be so cramped in here.
Thank you. Harness remedies are certainly potent in more ways than one.
One becomes accustomed to the taste, although I hope you never have cause to do so. Pray, take your ease.
Some finger work, but it's super fun. I like Ninja for what I played of it in Stormblood. I just haven't really played it after. It's not
glad I am to see you all unharmed.
It's not my kind of class, at least not right now. The mug up time though is kind of great. Get into an alliance raid and get 100% mug up time with 4.
Valiant scions, for your heroism, you have my boundless gratitude. You cast down that dire tower and set free its hapless captives. You cleanse their souls of its corrupting influence. No words of thanks will suffice. In place of platitudes, I offer a bounty of warding scales. Pray accept your due reward, along with the goodwill of Radzatan.
Alchemists throughout the land were put to work in the forging of your talismans. The finished ones have been collected, and now await you at the High Crucible of Alchemia.
Durgan.
Present this letter when you are ready to take them into your possession.
We are humbled by your generosity. Know that the inventive wisdom of Radzatan will be vital in restoring serenity to our star.
Every single one of those scales came from you, didn't they? You must still be in such pain.
Ow! Yeah, I was wondering about this. I thought he just regenerated them all. No, that's rough.
'Tis of no moment. A mere annoyance compared to the dreadful suffering inflicted upon this land and its people.
Oh, that's rough. I like that they did address that, though.
My involvement in the Dragonsong War afforded me a glimpse of the myriad sorrows which consumed both dragon and man.
I'll regenerate them eventually, yeah.
Half a world away. Such tragedies as befell your kin must have affected you deeply. And yet, you chose to live among men.
In the age when that conflict first bloomed, my choice had already been made. In some distant place, man slew dragon, and dragon slaughtered man. Yet no hate could I muster for those smiling faces which did look to me for guidance. Not even my brother's righteous rage could rally me to his cause. I huddled here, secret and still, hoping against hope that which I had built would remain untouched by the chaos and carnage.
'Twould seem we share the same desire for peace, great Vritra. To that end, I wonder if we might trouble you with another question. The Telephoroi are intent on recreating the final days, an apocalyptic event which we know to predate the sundering of the star. As the longest lived among us, know you aught of this terrible cataclysm?
Y'shtola said it. She said Among Us. It's funny.
Nay. When war and strife drove my sire from his home, he crossed the great expanse with only our unhatched eggs as company. He alighted upon a shattered source, its 13 reflections long since scattered beyond the rift. Of events preceding his arrival, he knoweth naught, save that which Hydralin hath deigned to disclose.
I see. So again, 'tis the inscrutable Hydralin to whom you must look for answers.
Seek you to divine the will of this star? If so, I have a tale which may afford you some small comfort. 'Tis a story from my youth, many, many years ago. To my sire, I once posed the question, of all the stars in the sky, why didst thou settle upon this one? To which Midgardsummer did reply, 'twas the last bastion of hope. He believed so long as Hydralin endured, so too might dragonkind. Solemn and portentous were his words. What deeper meaning they held, I could not, dared not pursue. 'Tis a stone I've left unturned ever since. Yet take you solace in the knowledge that whatsoever Hydralin does strive towards, 'tis an ideal which hath earned my sire's conviction.
Thank you, Vritra. You've given us warm reassurance in a world gripped by cold uncertainty.
While I'm sure we all have a great many questions, I think it's time we collect the talismans and be on our way. Our fight against the Telephoroi is far from finished.
Let's
We
move the
must
plot
take
along,
our
Sis
leave,
Tancred.
But please do inform us if we can provide any further assistance.
Kyle has staff. Or is that a mace? I can't tell what that is. Staff. Very small staff. What class is Cryo?
Prithee, a moment. There is one whom my sire hath judged worthy of honor and respect. The one known to men as Eorzea's champion. This hero of renown and rumor, 'tis thee.
So technically, you can miss the context that Midgardsummer is pretty spent. You won't wake up for a long period of time because of the events of the Omega Raid series. Doing the Raid series just gives you so much more context. She's a little 90 Kryl. Okay, fair enough.
I know of his clash with Omega, and the long slumber which was his price.
Is that an Omega specific option?
Yet even closed in sleep, my father's eyes are far from blind. He is watching over thee, watching over this world. 'Twas a revelation most pleasing that thou, a child of man, had gained Midgardsummer's trust. But alongside my narration runneth a rivulet of dread.
So it wasn't a mega option. That's cool.
Upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, wheel enmeshed with woe. Amidst this tangled knot, thou shalt know no rest. 'Tis an endless confluence of forces, a struggle without surcease. More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence.
Oh. Emotional damage. I did see you, Gatling. It's been a fun time. I also started early.
Protect them well. They will be your strength and your salvation. The hope thou wilt need come the end. Even cowering behind my curtain, I know the suffering of the powerful. I have watched my siblings driven mad by loss. Thus do I exhort thee to spare no effort to keep thy loved ones safe.
Apologies. We hadn't meant to interrupt.
It's just that we do have a history of suddenly collapsing, and when you didn't follow us out...
'Tis I who must apologize. I have detained your champion overlong with idle chatter. Go. At war's end, I pray I welcome thee back into my hall, where together with thy joyful comrades, you may toast your triumph.
Dragon of the game. Dude, no, Vitra's super legit. I love him. I think we're missing... I don't remember. Because there was Midgard Simmer, and then that led into Bahamut, Tiamat, Racefulgar, Nidhogg, Ratatoskr. Ratatoskr was the sister, or was the sister another one? And then we have him. I think most of all the dragons have been accounted for at this point. What you're talking about. Nothing very well if you say so. Others have gone ahead. The High Crucible, let's catch up to them. Everyone first, I believe that the free company is soliciting. Oh yeah, I've heard about Xbox cracking down on FC. That's so strange to me. Like, that's rough. Ratatoskr is the sister. Okay. Archon Loaf, best reward. Lieutenant was kind enough to give me directions to the High Crucible. First, let us return to Mulberry Orchard. Probably in lore. Yeah, so we're missing like maybe one dragon, but that's it. Most everything has been accounted for at this point. We know Tiamat just effectively has, as I'm aware right now, has effectively just dealt with. Tiamat has dealt with words, brain, Miracidia. So that can be written out pretty cleanly. Also, 14 just could have entirely just like, oh yeah, no, these dragons exist. They're just kind of doing other things. The fact that they also pulled on those plot threads, like, oh yeah, let's just flesh this out, is great. Supposed to follow the path left past the mulberries. An Encyclopedia Eorzea? I do not. Rev does. I don't know. On one hand, it's like you'd think that if Xbox continues to do certain things, it's going to cause 14 issues. But at the same time, Xbox is large enough that it might be negligible. There's not really much I think 14 could even do about that. Turns out doors descend to the steps. Crystarium was confusing distant compared to Eorzean Han. The architecture and decorations make it even harder to find your bearings. Let's see where that door takes us. I mean, at least the option exists, and it also gives channels, like game journalists, all of them, it gives them ammunition to use against certain like things that Xbox are doing to bring these issues to greater light. Aetheryte Plaza, so far so good, there isn't much further to go. Here we need to cross the other side of the hall and pass down the two doorways. High Crucible lies beyond. Others have already collected the boarding scales, destroying them. Well, so here's the thing. The issue should be with Xbox and Microsoft, not with Enix. These are Xbox and Microsoft things that are causing these issues. So once again, much as players are talking about why isn't Helldivers coming to Xbox, y'all should really be riding Microsoft right now. You should be putting the pressure on them. Let's go, at least we found the place.
These are the talismans we were promised.
Yes, and I made a quick count. There are far more than we could have hoped for. Enough to outfit an entire company of soldiers, in fact. Considering the involved process, that they were able to manufacture so many in such a short span of time is nothing short of a miracle.
It is the trailer music, yeah.
Once we have distributed them to our allies in Eorzea and the Far East, we'll have a fighting chance to bring down the other spires, just as we did with the Tower of Zot.
Or we could use them to invade Garlemald proper, and strike directly at the Telephoroi's base of operations.
That's a bold... That's bold, actually. I didn't expect your solo to be so direct. Rather than play defense, go for offense.
Of course, we would need to consult with various Alliance leaders before such a drastic measure could even be contemplated. To which end, I could set out forthwith and present the idea to each of our allies in person.
Pray allow me to undertake some few of those journeys. I find myself restless and in need of purposeful duties.
Uriah's just a workaholic. That's a mood.
I can head eastward. Bosnia and Dalmasca are just a short hop from here.
Baja!
And Doma's shinobi network should come in handy for passing on the word.
I actually don't. I thought Baja was in the first. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know where Baja is.
Share the burden, then. Meanwhile, I think it best that you and the others take the talismans back to the Baldessian Annex. We must keep them safe and secure until we've decided upon a course of action.
Please, I must speak with you.
Oh, hi. You're alive. You're not tempered.
Nidana, you're awake.
Yes. When I spoke with the carer at my bedside, she told me that one of the scions, a young woman, had cleansed me of the tower's corruption. It seems I'd been asleep ever since the treatment. But when I awoke and learned you were all still here, I knew I had to come.
Oh, it's the south coast of here. Okay.
As you said, Nidana was captured only recently. Such a brief exposure is swiftly cured, so I tended to her before we gathered at Megaduta.
Thought she was gonna say megaton for a second. What fault has polluted my brain?
That you did. I cannot thank you enough. All of you, for everything you've done. Destroying the tower, rescuing our people. You've saved Thavnair from an awful fate.
This could actually also boost their trade because, oh hey, the tower's gone now. Everyone else still has towers. Wink wink. You should trade with us.
Yet who hath truly saved whom? due in no small part to thine inspirational courage, the alchemists were successful in reproducing warding scales of proven efficacy. Replications of thy work now stand ready to travel across the seas, unto the hands of those who might wield them against this rising evil.
The talisman? Is this true?
Because as far as we're aware, Van Daniel didn't break the talisman or didn't take it for study. He knows what it is, though. He could alter the towers.
Oh, I was so groggy from sleep. I didn't even think to ask.
A lot of
Great
scales.
work sent across the seas. It was worth it. Oh, it was all worth it.
Mood flower.
Look at that. Its color is completely changed.
Has gone from anxiety to happy flower.
What do you have there? How unusual. I wonder if the effect is a reaction to Akasha.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that term.
Akasha? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Harnish alchemical theory. Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feelings.
This is so Kingdom Hearts, this entire scene.
You imply that it is distinct from ether.
Foreign scholars often conflate the two, but we see them as separate concepts. Ether is an energy which permeates the land. It exists within animals, objects, even the air we breathe, affecting all through which it flows. Akasha, on the other hand, exists in a domain beyond our reach. A gift bestowed from on high, or torn from the heavens in some traditions.
You torn from the heavens OST?
Akasha
Whoa.
can neither be created nor destroyed. It is beyond our power to purposefully alter or manipulate.
Interesting.
The only thing observed to influence it is an abundance of, I want to say, spiritual emotion. As a veteran of the battlefield, surely you've experienced moments of desperation or exaltation when you've transcended the usual limits of your capabilities. That is a manifestation of Akasha, the invisible essence harnessed by heart, mind, and unyielding spirit.
I really must hear more about this theory. Our disciplines are based entirely upon the idea that ether is the fundamental form of all energy.
Limit breaks, yeah.
I'm glad my haphazard explanation has piqued your interest.
Well, we dealt with chakra in the monk the monk quest line. Just it never really was fleshed out.
Akasha is a somewhat abstract field of study. A lack of practical application lends itself poorly to formalized research. Which is why my analysis of your flower can amount to little more than idle speculation. I am sorry.
Nonsense. You have nothing to be sorry for. Your insight is much appreciated.
I mean, they also did ask you, hey, can you explain this for us?
Shall we depart for Sharlayan then? I will see to it that the talismans arrive at the Annex.
And we will be in touch once our talks are concluded. I suggest you rest while you can. From here onward, sleep is bound to be in short supply.
We have knowledge the Sharlayans don't now. Ain't that a kick in the teeth? Oh, but can we have this? I mean, that would... You stopped our pursuit of knowledge. Let's stop your pursuit of knowledge. Come on now. Fair is fair. God. That's so funny. Okay, where are we going? We are going back to Charlotte. God, those TP costs are fucking expensive. Would not be aware of Akasa. Well, they're not aware of the scales, is what I'm trying to say. Like, they're probably aware of it. They probably don't give it much thought because it doesn't fit with their current, what's the word? Doesn't fit along with their current view on things. Gratz, Gratz, you have a book. Do you necessarily read it? No. But you have it. Akral. We'll be back with the fruit of our labor safely in storage. For now, we have but to wait on the others to return from their respective meetings and the Alliance leaders. And Krazesh, you should get some rest in the meantime. Get some rest in the meantime, quest marker. But the quest marker demands I finish. Welcome back, Kral's. Approximately your recent accomplishments with an amazing feat to eliminate a tower and pave the way to deal with the rest. Well, it isn't much. You changed your sheets and flipped up your pillow. After all, there's nothing like collapsing in a nice, clean battle for completing a major bombstone. But penning a thesis or defeating Teleformed entities. Let me know if you wish to take a look at your new and improved lodgings now. I guess I have to retire then, yeah, because that's the quest mark completion. Set my free teleport to Sharon, exactly. No, I mean, I'm here now. I'm not using the Crystarium for anything. Maybe after post I'll do it, but even then I should go from Mordona. They're pretty cheap. House to Mordona to there pretty cheap. Loaf. The anxiety flower. Showcasing everyone here. What a neat little detail. No, the knowledge of the concept would count, but we have the scales and we know what they do, and they don't.
Good, you're here. You haven't eaten yet, have you?
Oh, that's such a mood when your homies show up.
Spread if you're interested. Only the finest dining from the last stand.
Those brown paper bags, they give me joy. That's how you know that food's good. Just an unmarked brown paper bag. That's going to be the best food you've had all week. God, that's a mood. Yeah, no, we know how to... Graha burger! That is a big burger. Don't you remove that pickle. Don't you do it. How could you? I am, in fact, Grahatia, and that... I have devout...
Lest you wonder, we invited Estinian as well.
I have done war crimes to burgers, we're gonna put it that way.
He refused with a rather grim-faced, "No, thank you." I suspect Charlian cuisine is not to his liking.
I love that, man. To be fair, that T-Rex burger from Wendy's, though,
I don't know
oof.
about that. Perhaps our lone wolf just needed some time apart.
That nothing prepares you for that burger.
To perfect his brooding stare. Next time, I'll drag him out by the ear, sit him down in front of a Charlian feast, and see that he eats every last bite.
God.
An excellent idea. Of all people, warriors must take proper meals and rest if they are to maintain a healthy constitution.
Yeah, Rev.
Poor Estinian, beset on all sides.
For flatbread rolls. I don't know, I've been craving burgers recently, so I'm super biased.
Speaking of one's physical condition, Mistress Kryl, I hear you recently played literal host to Heidelin herself.
What Alphino said, you have to eat properly.
And what an experience that was. Tiring, yes, but no lasting harm done. If anything, I should have liked to speak with her longer. I've not felt a hint of her presence since.
The size of carbo hubcaps, I'd eat that, 100%.
Instructed you to carry that flower, yes? Twill be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. And then something about seeking joy in darkness, was it? come to think of it, isn't that what happened with Nidana back in Radzat Han?
Rev, bold of you to assume I've eaten anything more today than 2 slices of bread and 3 slices of Munster cheese.
As if reflecting the elation we all felt. The relief of a people with renewed hope.
That's the one.
Indeed. And in turn, I felt buoyed by that radiance. 'Twas akin to spotting a beacon and knowing we were on the right path. I know we've not yet triumphed over the Telephoroi, or learned the full breadth of the Forum's plans.
The salad!
Even within the midst of our struggles, we find small moments of joy to sustain us. Rare and hard-won, perhaps, but it is this pursuit of happiness that gives us the strength to carry on day after day.
He took so many bites out of that burger, and there's still so much left.
Hey, that's mine.
She gave you the pickle.
Swift the spoils. Though I recall that levitation spell of yours was quick enough.
With the burger contents? Only
barely. And even at my best, I'm still too slow to wield it effectively.
I'm using that term now. Thank you for that. I'm using that now.
I simply require more practice with this new magic.
You unearthed it from the depths of Numenon, I presume?
Aye, and from a veritable mountain of arcane tomes at that. 'Twas necessary to facilitate my solitary explorations.
Mood.
Or, to put it simply, you used it to sneak around the Forbidden Archives.
Maybe.
Yes, well, after a fashion.
Amazing. You want the cookie. Look at that salad, though. It's so modeled.
They're tall, you see. The shelves, they're too tall for me.
He's so small!
I could hardly move the library's platforms without attracting attention now, could I?
God.
Oh.
Got him. Short King problems. I wonder if that's why RuneScape's kebab actually has more of a sandwich type aesthetic. I'm used to the stick and meat and veggies. That's very interesting to think about for me. Are we pushing Rev, are we pushing until dawn? That's how he lives his life.
I'm not that ambitious. But 'tis pleasant to idle away the hours every once in a while.
Green flower. It is now sour apple flavored. Chocolate hands. Notice you left call. That chocolate did have hands. Hey, how you doing? You have a gambeson on now. Gambeson with pauldrons. Okay.
Enjoying the bracing cold, I see. Do you not own a warm coat or a cloak? Something in fur? Or fashioned from the skins of your enemies? Or...
Or?
Well, never mind that. I come to you once more as the bearer of bad news. Our tower in Thavner has been toppled, and I need not tell you by whom. Given how many we have at our disposal, the loss of a single spire is hardly fatal to our plans. It does, however, slow the rate at which we siphon the ether.
I'm assuming the ether is going to the moon and henceforth to Zodiark, is how I read this.
If they continue to preoccupy themselves with the towers, then all will be well. But should our foe prove bold enough to strike at us here, then the timing becomes questionable.
sus, if you will.
Our foe is bold enough. Of that, I can assure you.
I need to use that for a screenshot and something. I don't know what, but something.
Yes, very well then. I suppose I must prepare a proper welcome.
So I guess, depending on how this meeting goes, I was assuming we would do Towers, Garlemald, Fandaniel, Xenos, Heidel, and Zodiark, but we might actually be going Xenos, attempt to take down Fandaniel, go to the moon, come back down to Charlia, because there's 85 quests there, which map exposes. Probably come back to Razat Han. Probably finish on the moon, Heidel and Zodiark.
Honestly, talk of your nemesis is the only thing you seem to enjoy. Does nothing else spark your interest?
No, it does not.
No. All else is equal.
I love this man.
Equally tedious. Equally disappointing. The world is a tepid bog into which we sink, too weak to thrash as the mud clings to our eyes and fills our throats till we blissfully choke. But then came the light, blinding and pure and hot, so very hot, enough to set my soul aflame. I basked in the afterglow until the void yawned once more. And then I knew the muck would never claim me again. There was naught for me ahead, so I drew the curtain on all that had come before. Burn, burn, let the whole star burn. I will have my contest. I will reclaim my moment.
He's like, oh god, he is actually serious. He doesn't care.
How wonderful that the emptiness of death has not dissuaded you from committing your life to its pursuit once more. I don't know whether to envy you or pity you.
Amon's gonna outlive Xenos. There's gotta be, right?
Question my disinterest, but what of yours? Despite your noisome antics, I sense you take little pleasure in this endeavor.
Oh, got him.
Mercy, my lord. Such pointed barbs from one who barely acknowledges my existence.
Got him.
Nevertheless, you are mistaken. For I do find this part somewhat enjoyable. You see, when I was mortal, I would always have the same dream. It was a fragmented thing, disjointed, all the faces incomplete. The setting, too, was unknown to me, so I thought it simply a fantasy of my sleeping mind. Until one day, I realized it was showing me the truth. Much as your dream of the final days enlightened you. And soon, very soon, the rest of the world will see the truth of my dream, too. Yes, I think that is something we can both enjoy.
Right, mad. Sephiroth was interesting in regards to the events of Crisis Core. I think the mentality is different. I think the philosophy differs. They are feeling refreshed. I hope about to make my way to the studium as it happens. Speak to the scholar. Want to Shane to thank him for coming to our rescue in Rostra. As it turns out, he came here to see us follow the hearing, only to find that we had already departed for Thavnir. Knowing him, he probably hoping to the cup with his former students. Since we're still waiting for Ishtal and the others, that would now be the perfect time to pay him a visit. Care to join me? It's settled. The twins will be coming too, assuming Alphino can tear himself away from his new toys. I'll let you rally the troops when we go on ahead to Phenomenon. Yeah, words. Considering my recent impropriety, perhaps I should avoid showing my face around the stadium for a time. Maybe the rest of others should return. Tell them we will not be long. Sound the bell. School's in. No! Oh, hi. Orger. Orger. Thank you. I will use that in the next dungeon. Borger. Take out for a stroll. Scholark himself was here in that case. What are we waiting for? I too am eager to see him, though I somewhat dread the thought of visiting the studio. I dare say our notoriety precedes us. Alpha of all people were over his reputation, and had our alma mater, no less. Wonders never cease. You'll understand soon enough. Off we go. I have the ether shard right here. The music is sus. Here it is. The phenomenon. Well, I expect you to make note of it before. One can hardly miss it. This is the first time you've been here on official business, correct? While most of the space is taken up by the expansive auditoriums, it also houses a number of laboratories, testing grounds for experimental magics, and a host of administrative offices and so forth. Center, what will be later become the studium, it was established to promote the study of etherological phenomenon, hence the name. Though, with the ether being a fundamental aspect of nature, its scope expanded to everything, include every conceivable facet of life or the universe itself. Then, in the tour of 132nd year of the 6th Astral Era, and then in the 432nd year of the Astral Era, phenomenon was decreed complete and the studium officially opened as a place of learning. The long and storied history comes without question as the world's leading authority in etherology, the arcane, the occult, astromancy, and countless other fields, standing proud as Carleon's foremost educational institute. Oh no. Always did enjoy giving grand tour of those new to those new students. Indeed, I've long since lost track how many times he has reached the same foppish speech, recited the same foppish speech, such as the undying love for the his old stamping ground. He was in top form back then, the youngest to enter the studium, granted with highest honors in magical arts and etherology, undisputed champion in the debating chamber. Hold on, you're both in the studium at the same age, yes? And from where I stand, you're equally prodigious scholars. Nice of you to say, but Alphino actually entered half a year before me, nor did I do well enough to graduate with honors, and I'm certainly not the studium's most notorious master debater. In all respects, have I been in a shadow, nothing else. Just remember that this was where the legend of Alphino Levier began. We should expect everyone to be fully aware of the recent escapades. Hopefully, we'll stand somewhat more welcome here than we were in the last stand. Better than anyone, the adoration of a student body has for Alphino, and with a bit of luck, it might work to our advantage. Time like the present. First things first, let's look for Scholark Monteshane. Other faculty tend to frequent their offices, but unfortunately for us, he's fond of wandering wheresoever his whims takes him. Split up and ask the students if they've seen him. That day cycle, that light change was a little rough, not gonna lie. Okay. That was Alphino Levier, was it? The Alphino Levier. With the sister and Master Baldessian's granddaughter, they can only mean one thing. An event of epoch-shattering proportions is fast approaching. Spread the word. Grip exchange. Oh no. I'm sorry, so you're looking for a scholar? I guess knowing him, he could be anywhere but Miss Alipo should have a better idea. I get the feeling we're going to be coming up on a dungeon pretty soon. I just assume when I get invited to a party that it's sewed. Are you lost wandering off the street, perhaps? Wait, don't tell me. You're a trainee gleaner fresh off the guild ship. I'm right, aren't I? Well, how silly to me. The orientation is order. Allow me to bid you a warm welcome to Searcher's Meet. Start with the question, what is the most important thing you'll find in the studium? That's right, books. And where there's, what's second most important? That's right, that's simple. Everything else. So we deal here in Searcher's Meet. Whenever the students or tutors find themselves in need of equipment or materials, they come to us if they don't have it in their stores. We send the gleaners off to find it. Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the requests we get. Eye of Pysa this, Tongue of Giganto that. Enough to make your hair stand on end, which is possibly what some of the students are trying to accomplish, this being a school of magic and all. Our newest gleaner, you have the work cut out for, but don't think you'll find it quite rewarding. But I think you'll find it quite rewarding. So you're telling me is you're not a gleaner? Yes, that's exactly what you said, isn't it? And you're not looking for scholar, and you're looking for the scholar. I'm afraid we don't have access to those in stock. I love her. She tries so hard. He was here, but now he's not. I did speak with him shortly before you arrived, though. He said this is when to Maker's Meet. Go back the way you came in. You'll see on the opposite side of the entrance, the laboratory of sorts, many rare and expensive curios, not to mention alarmingly frequent accidents. If you lose your way, all the blood-curdling screams. In the time it's taking me to tell you all of this, Scholar has probably already left. Best of luck finding him. I have a feeling you'll need it. Man is just built different. I also like that they don't restrict your abilities in open play, like just wandering around and stuff, because other games would absolutely like, oh, this is a school, you can't use your abilities and stuff. I like that they don't. It's neat. Doug was here a short while ago. He offered me advice on my current research project that we spoke at length. I don't recall him mentioning where he was going. We were planning to go next. When we parted ways, he went down the corridor, perhaps one of the auditoriums. Oh, hi.
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Well, I could hardly let that inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louisoix in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you.
Is it dour? I always pronounce it dour. Like Dour Hand from Lord of the Rings Online.
I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my own eye. You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Matoya's prize student. Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
What a Chad. Teachers, they'll tell you how to deal with kids or deal with unruly people. They absolutely will.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy.
Yeah, which that makes sense. Worth a shot, but I mean,
or
yeah.
rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried. Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic.
He's saying what he can. He's doing what he can.
As such, those entrusted with this duty have
Yeah, it's a seal, an enchantment.
by
Yeah.
an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
How is that even possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat.
Yes, school time. My favorite. Yeah. Yeah. Teaching adults is a little different too, though. That's creation magic, is it not?
We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology. The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into 3 forms. 2 are of the incorporeal sort, the soul, and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third?
The physical?
Yes, very good. This is the form with which the layman is most familiar. Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities, and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked.
Mm-hmm. This gives us our reliable narrator explanation for this.
Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it. Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
It gets muddled. Underneath, what's underneath becomes indiscernible.
It would blot out everything that was written.
Precisely. We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
Bahamut and Louis Bois fight. The after effects of that, right?
The 7th Umbral Calamity.
Uh-huh.
The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act. The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Sharlayan prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation.
That's the one. It's not okay until it is.
Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace.
If it could.
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
As a hypothetical, of course.
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty. Barring that, we must wait until we return to the ethereal sea.
I wonder if it's a process similar to tempering.
For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean.
Yeah, it's a seal. Why I say it's a seal.
And our memories drift apart and dissolve. Rather defeating the purpose, I suppose.
Think like Sai from Naruto being unable to talk about Danzo and certain aspects of Root because he has the curse, the seal on his tongue, right? That thing. What's your memories?
But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
Which comes down to the final days
What
and
happens after that?
Xenos.
We are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form. Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable.
I want to just like a 30 to 60% opacity Xenos over that face.
Now that I've given you some food for thought, or rather, an entire banquet.
I don't know. This is just my average conversation, to be fair. Voice is slightly louder. Where do you? I can. The issue is that it's going to start drowning me out.
I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you. I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend. Oh, and I suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Sharlayan, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
Become a nerd. Bold if you assume I'm already not. Give me a second. I can fix it. 25. Not on a voice call anyways, so I can actually fix that. Theater weapon. If you're game, we'll put you on artist for any good use. Cool. Okay, so that's a... Okay, interesting. Let's give him a match to mull over. It feels as though we're one step closer to understanding the form's true motives and the mysteries of life itself, for good measure. Orb! When I came with the intent of expressing my gratitude only to leave more indebted than before, I have a feeling this friendship and support will be good boon to us in the days to come. And on that note, let's head back to the annex, perhaps on the way. Better acquaint yourself with Ki Alipo and the scholar suggested while I share findings with Raha. I'm assuming this meeting with the Alliance leaders is going simultaneously. I'm already in 82. Wow, okay, fair enough. What is my current level with Reaper? 88. God, I'm getting close. Probably swap over to Paladin once I max. The first dungeon. It was great. I liked it. I liked the final boss. Scythe is a bit much. I love it. I can't stand most of the scythes in this game. Most of them do that double scythe aesthetic. I can't stand it. This is one of the ones that I found actually super legit. When I hear a trip to the studio improved, most educational. While you're away, I united with our fellow scions. I helped Lens Discord to get my math concept and full relic armor. Nice. As expected, news of the warding scales was met with such joy. Preparations are now underway to bring the leadership Grand Company Eorzean the Alliance together, determine a way forward. Friends have asked that we bring the scales in position to Limsa Lominsa. The time has come for us to go on the offensive. It's too early to say for certain that it does seem the way that winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan. Let's see that waits us in Vilbrand. Start by getting the scales out of storage. Gives you a hand with Justinian. Manual labor. I mean, Baldessian Arsenal is something that's on my list, but I've only got Depagos. Are a bit longer than the previous. I was curious how long. They were pretty long. Didn't realize these crates were so heavy. Shouldn't complain though. Vitra and the Alchemists, great for putting their heart and soul into each and every one of these scales. Must treat them with the utmost care. Are you not coming with us? Much as I would like to escape the Foreign's watchful gaze, I have little choice but to stay behind, already on thin ice, and if I, in my capacity as an official representative, were found to be consorting with foreign powers, well, you can imagine how that would go. I'll remain here to my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers as I wait word from Master Matoya and the other allies. With any luck, you'll have good news of your own to share. Tide is about to turn, I can feel it to Limsa Lominsa. No, we're gonna do it this way. Go to mid. We're gonna go to the home. Jeez. Yeah, having an FC house in Limsa kind of comes in clutch. Look at this nerd. Look at this nerd! A space cadet to you. Come on, Rev, you're an astronaut. Let's be real. Yes, lamp. Entertaining elder seats here with Sultana, three of the most powerful women in the world in one room. Do I need a moment to prepare? Should I show you, man? First three cities is a guild saver. It really is, honestly. I would have a personal house in something like the Crystarium doesn't have any homes, does it? I don't think it does. I'd have a home in Kigane, though, like a personal, once I get to that point. And an opening actually opens up. Calling you away from Charlie on such short notice. On the contrary, we're honored and grateful and pleasantly surprised to be joined by such an esteemed company. Totally right that the discussion should be conducted in person. Looking at a war of attrition, our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers. There's only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed, which will only be claimed through decisive action. We have taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion. Reassuring to when we are in accord. Might I ask what your plan entails? But you can't leave. Right, yeah, I was curious how the interaction worked. Yeah, you can't leave, but you can actually still go there. And entirely on the warding scales and our ability to utilize their potential to their fullest. During the time in Charlie and our allied nations, the allied nations being engaged in separate fronts with no end in sight, make matters a surge in abductions of Kobold, Sahag, and Ixal, and Ananta have given a rise to increased number of primals as well. Your triumph in Razadhan has given us cause to hope once more. Time has come to free ourselves of the menace, and it is that you, Sons of None, who have shown us the way. Bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Telephoroi at bay. We'll dispatch our finest to strike the enemy's heart at Gollum. Really? There's no way we're going after Xenos this soon. I'd be very surprised if this is how we're going. The brave few will be the Selbard contingent. Progress is made in such a short span. Nanamo, Smaltana is Angie. The objectives are twofold. First is to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. Previously reported countless Imperial soldiers and civilians have been tempered, robbed of their free will. So it was Telephoroi's everyone without question. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering, not for strategic or personal gain, because it's the right thing to do. Do not ask that we set aside decades of conflict and conquest. We simply choose to forgive and forget. Only us that in choosing to remember, we do not forsake our compassion and morality. For those that there can be no reconciliation, only death without end. On that we can agree. Our second objective is the colossal tower that Thancred Oriangia observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there's one reason to believe the smaller spires are merely a precursor of what's yet to come. Though the Tower of Zot was toppled, we failed to make any headway. Though the same could be said of the Telephoroi, there's certainly no rush to push further into our lands. And wager the spires' primary purpose is to divide and keep us occupied while they work towards our annihilation. This would appear to be substantiated by Y'shtola's analysis on the tower's influence on ethereal currents. Based on her observation inside the Tower of Zot, the spires siphon ether from the land, consuming it into maintaining their form. However, they draw forth far more than is required for that task alone. Excess in ether remains unaccounted for. We can be sure it is not being harnessed for our benefit. Wouldn't surprise me in the least if they're being redirected to the larger spire in the capital. There's logic in that. Regardless, once we have uncovered the truth, bring our schemes crashing down along with their infernal towers. All well and good. What would you have us do? I assume there's more than handing over the scales and being on our way. We want you and your scales to join the Isilbard contingent. An official request from both the Grand Company of Eorzean and the Eastern Alliance. Do you accept? We gonna fight. Should be the one to answer that. For honor. Gets blindsided by a Shigoki. And myself. Both Thancred and Oriangia have already pledged their support and are on their way to meet with the rest of the contingent. They were positive that you would come to the same decision as they did. Luckily for all involved, their prediction was correct. Once you have delivered the warding scales to Alamigo, the contingent will embark upon its journey to Isilbard. Gralban and Lord Aymeric are overseeing preparations, so I suggest you make yourself known upon their arrival. Pack warm clothing, furs, and the like. Without you, the cold would do you in before the Telephoroi so much as draw steel. As for us, we'll keep the enemy at bay while they're gone, once we can create a diversion. Now go, safe in the knowledge that Eorzean will be as you lift it, or better, upon your return. Rabanya? Still pretty expensive. It's whatever. We also haven't seen Fordola in a hot second. So I'm wondering when she's going to pop in and say hi. $80+ do you have again? Give me a second and I can pop up my character thing. The Wanderer's returned. You've been busy bringing down a tower, producing keys, destroying the rest of them. You'd be proud. I'm just gonna strategic location. Yeah. You should be proud that the warding scales of yours are what's made this whole venture possible. Will you and Lord Aymeric be heading into the contingent? Regrettably, no. Our role is to organize the various delegations into a cohesive unit. Once we have seen you off, it's back to our respective posts. We dare not neglect our duties too long, lest our defensive efforts fall into disarray. Press is just one moment. You're fine. Just between us, there is a fair amount of opposition for the formation of our Isilbard contingent. The very suggestion that we send home one of our finest troops behind enemy lines to render aid unto the Guardians has made me rather unpopular in certain quarters. Oh no. Can't please them all. Sadly, no. Though I do my best, truth be told, I'd much rather be at your side charging into the fray unless I battle my own to fight. Words may serve me better than any blade. Hate to say it, but Lord Aymeric struggles mirror my own. For the time being, best we can offer you is peace of mind from knowing Eorzean is in safe hands. As you fight the good fight in Eorzean, I and other commanders will do what we can to convince the naysayers that our cause is just. Thank you, both of you. We meet again. Hi, Gaius. Okay, so you're alive after the weapon series. Where do your exploits travel? Looking from what I gather, protective talismans you obtained the formation of this expeditionary force. My contribution in this case is but a minor one, that being the information I have shared with Maxima for the sake of the people of Garlemald. May the fates be at your side. You're not coming with us. Thought you'd have a stake in this. Yeah, I did that. That's a fair point. So far, I've laid waste to my homeland and enslaved my people. But through every moment of my being cries for vengeance, and I cannot be the one to deliver it. My presence alone would place the entire mission in jeopardy. It would actually, yes, because he is Garlean. Stand accused of murdering Emperor Varus and plunging Garlemald into chaos. Were I to travel to Eorzean contingent, give my countrymen ample cause to question our motives. Conversely, those who believed me innocent may instead celebrate the return of the former legatus and attempt to raise me as a position of leadership, further destabilizing the region and complicating the contingent's mission. This is fair. Whether I am branded villain or hailed as a hero would only hinder your progress. For it's worth, you have my gratitude. You and your comrades have strength and courage to deliver my countrymen. I'm certain of it. In light of Gaius' rather unique circumstance, I instead will assume the role of your guide, though I may have defected for political reasons. My love for Garlemald endures. Stop at nothing to protect her and her people. Well said. Might I ask you to escort our friends inside? You might even bump into an old acquaintance or two. If I don't see you again ere you depart, maybe if you're a guide, you can protect you, all of you. Someone was curious about my 90s. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 90s so far. I'm working on 7 and 8 as we speak, and 9 going in Paladin as well. The members of the Eorzean contingent are gathered in the royal palace. I shall inform upon your arrival, so make your way inside as soon as you're ready. Many members of the Scions, friends must expect to wait within. Mixing you through. That's 380s, give or take, yeah. I'm getting there. The earring's gonna speed up my 50s, though. They're gonna speed them up a lot.
By the 12.
Meowdy. That's a lot of people. Oh, at least it's coming with. This cult is small. I see them. Oh, wow. That's a... Okay. That's a lot of people we've dealt with.
Us. I hope you don't mind, but we went ahead and started without you.
Nice.
As you can imagine, our traveling companions were eager to become acquainted. 'Tis a rare thing indeed to see such a diverse and talented group of individuals assembled for a single purpose. We fight not only for the sake of Eorzea, but for the entire world, including the people of Garlemald. Much rides on the efforts of the Eorzean contingent.
Dude's doing push-ups. What a Chad.
Indeed, which is why I am glad to find myself in the company of many trusted comrades, yourselves included.
It's been a hot minute since we've dealt with her.
Lucia.
I have come at the behest of Lord Emmerich, who has honored me with the role of Ishgard's representative. And for the good of all nations, not least my former homeland, I am determined to see this mission through to its end.
But she falls into the same issue as Gaius to a degree.
We have a hard road ahead of us, but walk it we shall, together.
We too welcome this opportunity to work together once more. I have faith that if there is a way to resolve this conflict, we will find it.
I think there's a few jobs that I haven't really dealt with. Yeah. I noticed some of them.
Introduce you to the rest of our company. Everyone, if I may have your attention.
I have the Cult of Small on my back. I'm fine. Cult of Small. That's the pugilist trainer, white mage. It's so cool. Populars are kind of neutral. I guess that's fair.
Might I ask you to speak first?
Interesting to see you here.
If I must, I am Arun Senna, spokesman for the Gridanian delegation. Here on behalf of my esteemed sister, the Elder Seedseer. We shall provide support and protection to those in need during our time in Garlemald. To that end, I am joined by healers selected by the Conjurers Guild, with the Order of the Twin Adder's Finest serving as our escort.
And the White Mage West. Yeah, no, I've done up to 50. No,
Of course,
maybe 60.
With an experienced white mage such as yourself accompanying us as well, those requiring more involved treatment will be in safe hands. Raya O sends her regards, by the way.
Bold of you to assume I got past 60 White Mage.
Suppose I'd better say my piece.
I remember. Oh yeah, this is the pirate dude. Right.
Wait, I know you.
The name's Sicard, in case you've forgotten. Truth be told, I'd rather you had forgotten.
Yeah, because he was part of the, what was it, 5.4 quest line?
The Admiral asked Captain Hillfear to send his best, and for whatever reason, he picked me.
Ah, got him.
Of course, if I'd refused, I'd be the laughing stock of the bloody executioners, and my reputation's taken enough of a keyhauling as it is. But more importantly, like any pirate worth his salt, I know when you're staring down a storm, you gotta trust in the commander of your ship.
Yes. Marauder and Scholar people. I haven't done Scholar to 50.
Wants us to go to Garlemald, not for plunder and glory, but a promise of peace in our time? Then that's what we'll do.
You hadn't got past 50 with your White Mage. I got everything to 50.
How much the Empire loves its steel. We thought we'd bring along a few smiths to make the most of it. Give them a pile of scrap and they'll cobble together anything you fancy.
Based.
Of course, just like the Gridanians, we got fighters of our own. We might have come with a more constructive purpose in mind, but we're more than capable of cracking skulls, believe you me.
Well, you're certainly raring to go. But then again, so are we.
I'm literally 90 tank. And literally 90 warrior. I'm not going to get any warrior dialogue. Oof.
The most dependable warriors of Uldar and Alamigo have assembled at the Sultana and General Aldin's behest.
Small. Cult of small.
If Garlemald has truly fallen, then the whole place is likely to be crawling with Telephoroi. We'll need plenty of troops to clear and hold a path for others to follow. That's where we come in. Naturally, Marshal Tarapin and I will be leading from the front.
It's been some time since I last saw you in your element on the battlefield.
From what I've heard, you've become pretty fearsome yourself. Master Matoya?
She's like, aww. Ariel, I've done that exact thing playing card
With
games.
comrades like these, I know we'll succeed, no matter what awaits us. And then we might finally get a chance to enjoy a good long rest. But until then, let's give it our all.
Oh no, even if they don't have lines, it's a very cool scene to see them. That's more than other games do.
As for Ishgard, we Temple Knights have come in force to uphold our nation's commitment to the peace and welfare of our allies. The bitter cold of Garlemald is a formidable enemy in of itself. Our experience fighting in ice and snow will prove invaluable in the days ahead. Accordingly, I have been designated commander of the Eorzean contingent. I will do all in my power to provide you with the leadership and guidance you require. The four high houses, House Hylinart foremost among them, have arranged for a host of machinists to join us on our mission.
Oh man,
Their
Machinist Quest would have been good to finish.
Magitech is sure to be a great boon.
Yep, there he
They'll
is.
address any problems of a technical nature together with the smiths of Limpsa Lomitsa.
I guess, yeah, that is the Dragoon trainer, now that I think about it.
There
He is the mentor.
Another awaiting introduction.
Oh no. Hey! Oh, this is the when you have mods on cutscene.
Ah, yes. Emmanuel de Forton, at your service.
Dude's about to become a war here.
Though,
Watch this.
lest there be any misunderstanding, I should stress that I've not become a fearsome warrior while you were away. Rather, far from it, actually. My brother, in his infinite wisdom, decided this would be an excellent chance to make something of myself. Oh, and fight for world peace and all that.
That's the one.
But should the opportunity arise for a spot of ballroom dancing, I will be your twinkle-toed gentleman of light.
You ain't Hildebrand.
Huzzah! I cannot wait to regale Honoroi with my tales of daring do.
He is Hildebrand at home.
I believe that concludes introductions for the Grand Company of Eorzea. Our allies from the Eastern Alliance were due to arrive some time ago, but it would appear they have been delayed.
Would that be the shinobi of Doma?
Actually, they've been tasked with relaying messages back and forth between the various Eastern nations. According to Lord Hien, however, an equally capable company of warriors has been sent in their stead.
Is this going to be the Azim Steppe?
Out of my way, you preening fool!
Please tell me it's going to be Sunbro and Moonchick. Yeah! That's the one. Wow, we're getting right into this. Wow, I was not expecting this for another 2 levels of quests.
Forgive us for coming late. We are the delegates of the Eastern Alliance.
Serena, my beloved.
Cyrena, and you've brought company.
For battle and blood we come, as a steppe is sorely lacking in both. Powers befoul our lands, so we marched on those of Doma, only to find them beyond our reach.
Can you imagine the world is going through a crisis and you're complaining that you didn't get hit with the crisis? God. I love her so much.
And now our thirst for slaughter will be slaked. No quarter to the enemy.
Sadu Hatun, no. We go to make peace with the Iron Men, not war.
Warriors of the Steppe, we've heard many tales of your bravery. We welcome you as allies. And these other ones you have brought are...
I actually haven't done the Baja or anything like that.
Members of the Dalmascan resistance group, Lente's Tears.
Yeah, I didn't do any of this.
And the Bosnian resistance.
Nope, didn't do any of this.
Between them, they have a wealth of experience in espionage, and are particularly adept at infiltrating Imperial facilities. Which is fortuitous, since Garlemald's domain is so vast that I could never hope to handle reconnaissance duties all by myself.
Thancred be like, oh my god, other rogues, please. This is amazing.
Dalmasca, Bosnia, Alamiga. All lands which have suffered the tyranny of the Empire. I would never presume to question your motives. Nevertheless, I must reiterate that our goal is to aid the victims of the Telephoroi, the common folk of Garlemald.
Even though you haven't done it yet, right? I mean, no, my Gunbreaker's 87. I'm pretty sure I've done quests through 70.
And they are victims, make no mistake. Though I understand that many may struggle to see them as such.
You're more right than you know. For every one of us that answered the call, there were a dozen that refused. Not only in Alamigo, but everywhere we went. And who could blame them? The Empire's always been the enemy.
Start to really play off. Oh yeah, 100%.
But
I've been on a limited
after
time
seeing
frame.
what we've seen, fighting and working against and with Garleans, there's no denying the simple truth. They're just people. No different from you or I. They've got their share of liars and murderers, but so do we. Fordola, who once swore herself to Garlemald, has proven herself a trusted ally time and time again. Every Eorzean here knows Cid Garland, the Imperial defector who shared with us countless technological wonders. Maxima, who stands with us today, tried to reform Garlemald from within and make peace with Doma. So you can believe me when I say that every fighter here understands and accepts that the Imperials are not monsters and are deserving of help. Or at least that they were able to put aside their feelings for the greater good. It won't be easy, but we're all determined to make this world a better place.
Benui.
What lingering concerns I may have had were clearly unwarranted. I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly.
I feel like little son is looking at the Benui.
Then we are in accord. Now, let us review our strategy. To reach the Garlean capital in northern Ilsabard, we must cross the central mountain range. Fortunately, Garlond Ironworks can provide aerial transport, sparing us this most treacherous part of our journey. However, attempting to fly any closer to Garlemald would attract the attention of the Telephoroi.
Right.
As they appear to have seized control of the majority of the Imperial military, we must assume that includes its fleet. In addition, Garlemald possesses devices that can interfere with airship navigational systems, further discouraging an airborne approach.
Given the circumstances, the closest we dare deploy our contingent is an area between the range and the capital, the Magna Glaciers. From there, we must travel the rest of the way on foot. We will also need to bring the airships with us to ensure we can withdraw with haste. Although much of the terrain will be blanketed in snow, we should be able to make use of local roads and shipping facilities.
Makes sense.
The vast ice field will afford us an unobstructed view of the surrounding area. On the other hand, it will also allow others to easily spot us. So it is imperative that we only make camp in positions where we can easily defend ourselves. And the airships, which must be kept safe at all costs.
We cannot account for every possibility, so we must be prepared to think on our feet. We will be tested. Sorely tested, I expect. But for our homes and for our people, and a people not our own but in need, we will succeed. Spare no effort in your preparations. Once we depart, there is no turning back.
Wink, wink. Progress gate. Barkeep, thank you for the resub. It has been a year. Oh my god. Wild to think about. Besides the delegates assembled here, the Almalja and several other tribes offered to send troops of their own. Unfortunately, due to the physiology, many of them would struggle to simply survive in harsh climate of Ilsabard. Also likely improve tempting targets for abduction by the Telephoroi. All things considered, you can better aid the cause by bolstering our defenses in Eorzea, though the eagerness to do so has been more than noted. You shall have this device. Eorzean Bark must attribute warding scales to our comrades. Here to do the honors. I guess, yeah, technically it is up to us to do that. Warding scales for the Ishgardian delegation, I take it. Many things. These talismans may prove to be the deciding factor in the battles to come. I find myself conflicted by this foray to Garlemald, sent by the Empire to infiltrate Ishgard, only to throw my lot in with those secrets I was supposed to be stealing. Now I lead a mission to save the countrymen I betrayed. Doubtless why I was chosen by Lord Aymeric, he would have me put my extension knowledge of my former ties to good use, not disappoint him. For the future of Ishgard, Garlemald, and the world at large will lead us to victory. Self-warding, is this a warding scales I spy? Not that I would know what they look like. Shokabuki! Look at these, even a Leyland like me can tell that they're bursting with ether, all about to defend off the tempering waves. Is that the right term? Anyways, to give us one less thing to worry about. This leaves their mountain, or whatever is waiting for us in Garlemald. Only way to find out, nervous or not, I'd march through all 7 hells to give me a chance to put Xenos back in the grave where he belongs. Let's see, I found you a letter for your letter from Master Hammond. Let's read it together, shall we? See, I have every confidence that your fish shall bring the Telephoroi to the knees. And should you espy any beautiful maidens thereabout, perhaps sing to them my praises. Oh my god. Charming, Master. Well, more fool for me thinking the letter would contain anything actually inspiring. Let's get this note exists and focus on the battle ahead. I love it. Told me the struggles faced by Amiga in the days of the occupation. I too have crossed swords of the Empire on many occasions. We came as quickly as we could. We would follow your example and devastate Telephoroi with the full extent of our powers. Were it not for brothers who see we return here soon enough. I love it. All the class people are just great. His Master Roshi. Yes, I thought that was the point, the intention. Here, you got something for us. Them scales, everyone's talking about pretty little things, ain't they? Reckon they'll be worth a kill or two and this is all over, but hold on to them for now. And one more thing, I know that you're all thinking, why didn't they send Inazar instead? We're going to find now. All the Admiral and Captain Hilfer told me was that they needed someone to help safeguarding the future, and here I am. Can't say that they haven't got a sense of humor. Of course, some of you might be wondering what good pirate is on dry land in the middle of sod and snowball places. Well, me and my crew will do whatever needs done. He's doing, so let's sail. Let's sail. This is the airships. These are the famed boarding seals. Enough for me and my men, I see. Under normal circumstances, I would not be allowed to travel outside the 12s wood. Eorzean Alliance has granted me special permission. She has been led my magic to the people of Garlemald while learning all I can of their ways. In doing so, close to understanding myself and my place in the world, or so she says. I say it is past time our allies benefit from the power of Eorzean's disposal. Some bemoan that we hide our light under the bushel and intend to address that criticism. Serena and who? Oh, I guess there's... Pulled and Garlemald, so we came prepared. We have one more left. I guess that's for us, technically? Thousands are ready to keep these close at all times. Yes, I will see that no one misplaces theirs. And before I forget, a message from Hien. Distant lands and time to strive together. We stand together, fight. Darkness shines the light of life. What we've done is worth justice. Doma, like much of Orthord, has been plagued by our towers. No, we could not be here. While he could not be here, I wish to express his shared conviction. In a year labor, without the rest to unite their people. And with their aid, we will keep the enemy at bay. We the step in the Eastern Alliance will repay our efforts ending this war. And then the last one shows up as Maxima. Okay. Boarding scale for me, too. A good, by expansion, way to do that, actually. Thank you for this and going such incredible lengths for the sake of my people. Little to offer in return. I would impart some advice, if I may. You have been told by many to wear the cold of Ilsabar, and I cannot stress enough that there'll be no token warning. I'll be distributing specifically made warming tinctures, courtesy of the Alchemist Guild. Once then, there no substitute for proper protection. I leave the provision of said protection to your discretion. Now let's proceed to the Almegan Quarter. While you make your final preparations, I have the pilots ready for the airships. On the Saturday Mountain, especially rough. You got some warm clothes? I do not. I guess I could turn on my tank set. Last chance to make ready before we set forth. You can worry about Urianger and I. We still have what we wore in Garlemald before. Sinian claims to be quite warm and toasty beneath his armor since he spent a fair bit of time at North recently. I have no reason to doubt his words. Honestly, armor does get very toasty, to be fair. Most of those will be borrowing Grand Company stock. The rest of you could do likewise, I suppose, provided you're not overly concerned with style. I want to put too fine a point to it, but I wouldn't be seen down in one of those ridiculous overcoats when they had time to find something to my liking. Hark, is that the cry of the science and Taylor? Oh no. Is it the aesthetician? Or is it... Oh no. It's worse. Hodderu, please. But how? Hodderu always knows. I thought it was gonna be Hildebrand for a second. I think what I'm... The fact that I am now Pavloved into expecting Hildebrand is a commentary in itself. I have my ways. Oh yes, indeed. You could sneak off to Ilsabard without telling me. Nothing escapes my notice. Small. Now you will wear these garments are made for whether you like it or not. Yeah. Never cease to amaze. You have a new outfit as well. Wait, are you coming with us? What? No, of course not. So it's all the same. It's all in the name of fashion, rather the pursuit of the highest quality fashion. Besides, how can I expect others to wear my creations? I've never worn them myself. Free outfit is best outfit. Fair. Well, I did have one other thing to share. Ergmus and Blumita have finally returned assignments in faraway lands. I have no idea who these are. At the Rising Suns for I'll keep an eye on events throughout Eorzea. I have no idea who these are. They'll be returning things back to... running things back in headquarters. I was wondering if I could lend a hand in Charlian. Oh, why not? You can keep Cryo Company in the Baltisian Annex. Yes, we'd love to have you there. I heard Ermgus and Blumita did a fine job carrying in our stead while we were lying comatose. I'm in charge of the Rising Stones. We have nothing to worry about. Other named Scions, I guess. My thoughts exactly. Also, while I'm confident you won't go collapsing again because a certain someone who shall remain nameless isn't in a position to transport your souls into another world. If anything similar to disastrous were to happen, we'll be positioned to do something about it. Because a certain someone who shan't be named, who shall remain nameless, isn't in a position to transport... Wait, what? Oh, is this Grahatia? Are we poking fun at Grahatia? Got a few things to take care of. Make my way to Charlian. Really do hope these new clothes are enough. Keep you warm in Garlemald. Not much, but the only thing I can do for you, only pray for your safe return, which I will, every day. Not keep the contingent waiting any longer. Here are your winter woolies, handcrafted by yours truly. North Sea coat. Another rose. Emmett Selk was the other one. I mean... Robkin, thank you for the resub. Oh, you know, just hanging. Frosty reception. Told Airship Palace sent to meet you. Here he is. This is where we go separate ways. You be careful, won't you? Careful is not my middle name. Unga Bunga, more likely. Meet you on Ironworks will be ferrying you and your contingent across the mountains into Garlemald. I saw this. This is going to be a solo instance, right? It's supposed to be something of homecoming. Illustrious founder, only most notable Imperial defector. Reason the company is committed to success in this expedition. Our resources are at your disposal, and if you ought we might do, be of assistance. Please don't hesitate to ask. If you're ready to depart, I'll ready the engines. Several cutscenes will play in sequence. Recommend set aside some time to do these cutscenes in their entirety. In addition, you will not. You'll be required to participate in the battle. Your progress will be saved at certain points. I do like that they checkpoint this now. That would have been super helpful with Ranjit. I can do this in a party. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm bricked into this now. Actually, eject me from the party, please. I don't know who's party leader. Please eject me from the party so I don't have to do this again. Okay, thank you.
Ilsabad, divided in twain by a vast mountain range. Those who would traverse its jagged peaks face peril at every step. But why go by foot when one can simply fly?
I like that the map has changed with this in the center now. Boat. What is an airship but a flying boat?
On the outskirts of the Imperial capital, in the frozen wastes of the Magna Glaciers.
Oh, poor Sadu.
The winds howl in icy protest, as if to warn against further trespass.
Shows how cold it is. Y'shtola does not have on black outfit this time.
We've received word from Thancred's reconnaissance party. They've sighted a detachment of heavily armed Imperials.
Oof.
Survivors of the Civil War, perhaps?
Perhaps, but there is more to it than that. Maxima reports that they're led by Vergilia, legatus of the 3rd Legion, which comprises the bulk of their number. However, they are also joined by several members of the 1st.
From what I recall, the 3rd Legion fought for Nerva in the War of Succession following Varus's death. The 1st, on the other hand, were under the direct command of the Emperor and rejected Nerva's claim to the throne. These legions were enemies.
The enemy of my enemy.
Indeed. In fact, our sources claim that it was a conflict between them that sparked the civil war.
They're like, well, crap, this
Yet
one's
now,
sideways.
These former foes cooperate to defend a ruined Garlemald from invasion.
Hmm.
Then it is all but certain they have been tempered.
Hmm.
So, what's the plan? If me and my crew is out reaving, we charge straight in, no messing about. But that ain't what we're here for.
Quite right. Soldiers or no, they are people of Garlemald. The very ones we have come to aid. Direct confrontation is unavoidable. Nevertheless, we must make every effort to limit casualties on both sides. Rather than kill them, I would remove them from the field.
Mm-hmm.
How so? Savage beatings, disarmament, and imprisonment?
Send it, please.
But easier said than done in the heat of battle.
Fact. There you are, Jay. He's a big hood.
The opposition, I imagine Thancred had something to suggest?
He did. He and the other scouts have already infiltrated a supply depot some distance beyond the Imperial detachment's current position.
Thancred is so happy because he has other sneaky people to do these things with. He's very happy right now.
Within is a stockpile of Magitech armaments, and once we give the signal, Thancred's team will destroy them all. In so doing, we will deprive frontline troops of materiel, and likely force the detachment to send men to investigate.
Divide and conquer. Not a bad idea.
So where is the Gentleman of Light, though? Where is Hildebrand? Hildebrand would be essential for this mission. Would make this way easier.
Once the scouts have finished their preparations, we will split into two groups. The first will form the vanguard, while the other brings up the rear with our supplies. As for the Scions, I ask that you lend your assistance where you deem it needed most. I would prefer, however, that you accompany the rearguard and be prepared to join the van at a moment's notice. Kept in reserve as our trump card, so to speak.
Y'shtola does not look pleased having to go back to a white aesthetic. At the Imperial Supply Depot. Think about it, he doesn't have to do everything himself now, Thancred. He has other people that can do exactly what he does. And he can rely on them to do those sneaky things.
Your proposal was well received. More specifically, they asked that we destroy the Imperial's toys in as spectacular a fashion as possible.
Banui.
Y'shtola always did have a flair for the dramatic. She's not an easy woman to please, but I shall do my best to satisfy her thirst for fireworks.
Flare Mage.
All right.
Flare Mage moment.
Once more for my peace of mind. Our first objective will be to rig the enemy's Magitech with explosives. After we've withdrawn to a safe distance, we'll detonate them remotely. Our second will be to issue a deactivation command to the automated units via the control terminal. If our calculations are correct, this signal should reach those deployed on the front line, giving our friends a much-needed upper hand.
Oh, that's Baja tank. Your tanker's way. That's
the
neat.
blizzard will help us stay hidden, so let's aim to get in and out before it passes. Trust in the plan, and we should all live to see tomorrow.
If you do it right and you don't mess it up, it works.
In the meantime, I will relay messages back and forth as the situation unfolds. You'll forgive me if I ask again, but are you certain you wish to play the lone wolf?
That's what he does.
Wouldn't have it any other way. Call it foolish and reckless if you like, but I'll get the job done. I always do.
Very well. I wish you the best of luck.
His glasses would be freezing. Maybe like Metal Gear. Not very. That's not entirely true. I haven't really played it as the issue. There's nothing else in me which can make commence the mission as soon as you're ready.
Keep your wits about you.
It's time. We only have one shot at this, so let's make it count.
Assuming I'm going that way. Yep, there is. Swift deception. Makes your presence masculine. That's not a bad cooldown, honestly. That's what Assassinate should have felt like with Ninja. Yeah, the dogs are going to be a little bit of an issue. It's fine. Their sightlines aren't awful. To be fair, when Majora's Mask, I have to deal with that in the Deku Palace. This is not awful in comparison. I need him to actually turn around and then I can do that. We're going to run this a very specific way. I think that exits me from stealth, actually. That does exit me from stealth. Good to know. Under sight lines, they're fine. Just stealth take down them? I could. My worry is them waking up to their corpse. Or, because they're knocked out. But if he turns around, I'm worried he's going to spot him, but I should be on enough of a cooldown, and also the Magitech blocks it. I'm overthinking this stealth section. I will not take down that slasher. Come on.
Seven hells.
Oh, fuck off. I don't think it even noticed the... Okay. I'm thinking they have a lot smarter AI than they do. Work on Magitech? Okay. It's so good. Yeah, so I just have to avoid the slashers. Like, that's fine. That's a bad idea. It's like right there. I need to hit him over there. I should be fine. I should be hiding behind the Reaper. Or his sight line can actually be fucked. Okay. Fine, I'll take that. That one's pretty close though. Just hide and relay your progress. Yeah, because that one's right there, unless you take him out. Oh, must have been the wind. God.
This is sacred. The explosives are in place.
You're kidding me.
Very good. All is proceeding as planned.
I like these are voice acted here.
Head to the control terminal. It should be to the northwest.
This is Thancred.
Understood. Have the others wait at the rendezvous point.
No, this is Thancred. Actually missed what he said. Northwest. Yeah, so we have to get through that. Okay. That's gonna be a little bit of a tricky one, actually. I mean, Crisis Core had a similar stealth section. Wasn't super bad. No, this is Thancred. Exactly. I need that bug to move. Yeah, like that. Dude, he's zooming. Need to take out that one. I don't have enough information. I need that slasher to move. At least they don't count down people. They just kind of move by them. Just let them go. So we have that Magitech there. We have that one Tempered Imperial there. We have, is that 2 slashers? I think I moved the, I need to see where the slasher goes.
Must be losing my touch.
Fine. I'll just take him out. Can I stop it before? I can't stop it before 40. That's fine. Take 42. Now he's actually out of the picture. No, he's not. There's 2. Okay. I can hypothetically need to eliminate most of these. I can. I'm surprised he didn't even see me. Here. That's how we're going to work that one. I need to wait for my stealth to reset. The more I take out now, the easier it will be going forward. Like, he's fine. He's kind of a non-issue right now. He's an issue. Once I get the Vanguard to turn his back and the slasher to go that way, I'll be fine. outside of his sight range. I could have chanced that. I'm not feeling good with that. That slasher right there. I see some streamers switch to easy after 3 fails. I mean, I can see that. Shouldn't be too much farther anyways. I need you to turn around, Vanguard. Come on, come on. Perfect. The fact that that Legionnaire is right there is going to be a problem. What is over there? So if I wait for the slasher to be about there, I can take out the dog and I can then probably stealth into that. I think I have an idea of how to do that. Yeah, because the pillar's blocking that that Vanguard. Okay. Slasher's there. Okay, that actually didn't even affect him. I'm okay with that. For some reason, the guard didn't even see that. Or... Ooh! No! Oh, that sucked. I literally last seconded that. That cheated me out of it. I'm very upset with that, actually. It was same tick. Well, terminal is there. There's something else here. I'm trying to figure out what it is. That is a big boy. And there's some skills as well as the corresponding buff. Yeah. Fine. We did it first try. Reaper's Cloak mode. Right. No, it's I know why it did it. I'm just like, that was really rough. I did it first try, though, so I'll take it.
You are returned, and none the worse for wear, to my considerable relief.
What news from our comrades?
They stand at the ready.
Excellent. Then let the fireworks begin.
He's gonna press the funny. He's gonna press the funny button.
The blizzard's beginning to clear. The Vanguard should be engaging the Imperials any moment now, if they haven't already. Y'shtola and the others are with them, so I'm sure they'll be all right, but...
Dog?
Wait! Something's coming!
Dog.
Oi, oi! Looks like we ain't the only ones who sent out scouts. Keep them away from the carriages! We lose those, and we're as good as dead!
The Scythe Flourish gets me every time.
Fighters!
Protect the others!
These don't have positionals. I don't know how Reaper functions without positionals. Because Gibbet and Gallows require flank and rear. I guess I just use them and don't get a damage bonus, I assume? The same but better, but you don't get the bonus. Oh, you just get the bonus without? Okay, fair enough.
A brief respite, but stay alert. Keep the carriages safe.
What impeccable timing! Fear not, friends! The savior of Ishgard is here!
I love this man. He goes so hard. My house boiling eggs, nice. Well, boss. Okay, interesting. It's like a constant True North. So what does True North do against these enemies? If I pop True North and they don't have a hitbox, what does it do to them?
A fine display, but the other carriages are still
Nothing.
in danger.
It's just a dead skill. I thought it still did something on bosses like
They'll
that.
hold the line.
Interesting.
We're the only ones still struggling.
I thought I had a conversation before where I heard that it still does something. Like, because I asked, like, well, if they don't have positionals, why would you ever use True North in that fight? And I was told that it still serves other purposes. I don't know. This is just hearing about this all the way back in ARR at this point. Take a full gauge. Are they actually going to limit break that? Well, they didn't limit break, but they'd stop it. Something back-to-back DPS burst is just fantastic.
You lot all right back there?
We're fine. I'm ready for more.
Hear that?
There's a full ring around those no positions. You do full damage. Okay, got it. Thank you for the clarification, chat. What a neat sequence. That's a big building. Kind of, it does remind me of an Oblivion Tower from Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. Come on, where's little son? Where is he? He just put that man to sleep. God.
Removed from the field was not a euphemism for enthusiastically murder.
It's fine. He's just sleeping. He's just sleeping from my big pointy stick.
Won't heal in time.
Exactly. See, he's just big. He's just sleeping.
The trouble is, their tempering has made them utterly fearless. Subduing them would be easier if they had the capacity to submit in the first place.
Fact.
Well, this is the path our young charges would have us walk, and that we all agreed to follow. You knew it would be hard, yet still you pledged your lance, did you not?
Yes, Mom.
That I did.
Dragoon moment. It's been a minute since we've seen Lise do anything. Oh, there he is. The man himself. Oh, I guess technically it's the Eorzean step versus the actual, not a Legatus, right? She's not a Legatus. I want that, actually. I want that weapon.
Damn it. I need to help the others take her down.
There's no end to them.
She is Legatus, okay. I want that weapon. That is a very intuitive weapon, actually.
I was wondering when you'd turn up. There's no stopping us now. Come on, let's show them what we're made of.
We have them now! Forward!
That's a lot.
Right! Let them have it!
At least the your soul slice actually recharges fairly quickly. It goes back to 2 charges very, very quickly.
As a raging bull!
Is that Pippin? Yeah, it is. Pippin just absolutely just earth-shattered. That was amazing. Can't exactly stack that. Oh, you get to see it out there. Oh, so okay, she stacked him. Wow. Dude got absolutely obliterated. She just walks to the battlefield.
Do not fall behind!
Oh, that sucks. Trying to save it for a big burst window. Come on.
Is everyone all right?
Kneel or die!
Come on. They're dying. They're actually dying too quick that I can't actually proc my stuff. No, this look at this is not fucking around. Pop circle. Pop. I'm eating that hit. She does have positionals, though, so I do have to actually keep worried about her specifically. She's giving her all. She's being smart. Exactly. Well, just because they're tempered doesn't mean that they have to be idiots.
Tremble before the sun!
My God. He actually just home ganged her. What the fuck?
May your screams fill the air!
Spicy. Yeah, they did have a lot of health. That makes a lot of sense. Just nukes them. Okay, thanks, Sadu. Oh, that's amazing. Sadu actually got to just nuke people. It's great. She's fun. She's having fun.
A worthy adversary.
The irony that
Recover. Reclaim yourself. Then we will fight again. To the death.
the irony that I play both of these classes. He tries so hard. This man.
That was the last of them. The day is ours, thanks to your timely arrival. What of the supply caravan? Outmaneuvered, but not outmatched. Good. Let us take the Imperials into custody and rejoin our comrades. And soon we shall arrive at the capital.
Oh, we just straight shot right through the Garlean Empire. Wow. Toggle non-lethal on right. God. It's a non-lethal meteor.
So cold and unforgiving. Thus spoke Emperor Solus as he gazed upon his barren domain. "800 years it had been since the Garleans first set foot here. Bested by the Kavosi after centuries of war and driven from fertile southern pastures into the blasted northern wastes. In that garden of desolation, they clung to one another for warmth, freezing, hungry, desperate, hated.
What a cool aetheryte.
the chosen forsaken. In the year 1513 of the 6th Astral Era, a young legatus named Solus single-handedly sparked the Magitech Revolution. How did he conceive the machina that feed on ceruleum? Once a common, soft-spoken soldier, how had he so quickly ascended through the ranks? Like so many others, those who knew the truth are gone. Taking in the capital with his eyes for the first time, I recall thinking to myself, far colder on the earth than in the heavens. Yes. Far colder indeed, bitterly so.
Not so much as a whisper.
It is very quiet.
The roads leading beyond the city walls would have been used less in recent years. Nevertheless, this was one of the most important gateways into the capital.
A buzz day and night with activity, aye. Merchants passing through the checkpoint, many of them stopping at the local hostelries.
Surely they cannot all have been tempered.
We can consider the question after we have made camp. If we spend any longer outside, we may well freeze to death where we stand. The tempered Imperials, too.
This will be our temporary base of operations. Secure shelter for ourselves and the injured, and dispatch scouts to survey the surrounding area.
If we're planning on staying here a while, we ought to give this place a proper name.
Well, the constant sound of ice cracking underfoot makes me think of broken glass. An apt name, perhaps. But enough of this. To work, everyone!
We're just in the shadow. Can't broken glass, of course. Man, we are just in the shadow of the capital. We're really trucking along here. Welcome to Farlamald. Yes, it's not Garlemald. It's far away from Garlemald. It is Farlamald. That is excellent. If you're on the TV channel, stick around for the next one. I will have that in the next one for you. If you're on stream, stick around. I'm going to go take a quick BRB, and then we're going to move on with this. I need to figure out when I need to swap to Samurai for a very specific fight. But, alas, see you in the next one on the Kip TV channel.